Goes live, YouTube, then you start. You see that? And action. Host, you have the floor.
The Lamb awakened with magic, and salutations to all. I am with that red. Your host for today's 30th September 2023 full harvest moon reading. Our moderator today is that's right. And I will begin with the reading of our pledge. A moment. Begin reading and thinking by saying Kalun/all, by way of the affinity flame of the dwellers enthroned in the flower of fire, by way of a universal traveler, Emperor :space, Samhu, and me-ray, quote, Ade Lo Yi, end quote, Zenuru, and smiley face. Pledge of the Imperial and Imperial Royal flags for the Emperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States, more or less, as I stand beneath our sacred Imperial and Imperial Royal flags. I vow loyalty and obedience as I watch them fly to the imperial laws of our Imperial and Imperial Constitution that governs our Imperial and Imperial Royal Empire. To this cause, I hold my head up high. With honor, I pledge to protect and defend all within the Imperial and Imperial Royal Kingdom, both family and friend. To ensure that all have their equal rights to this cause, I will lay down my very life as I stand beneath our sacred Imperial and Imperial Royal and National flag. I vow loyalty, sincerity, and integrity with zeal. As I will, so mote it be, chant the enchantment, and it is done. Chant the enchantment, and it is done. Chant the enchantment, and it is done. Ashe. So be it, so it is. It definitely shall be. Quote, Zenuru, and power we shall have. Thank you. Eesh. Know that self. Smiley face. Go to the next page.
All right, Assalamu alaikum magic. Y'all good today?
All right.
Magic. How you doing? Magic Emperor. Doing well. How are you?
Magic, better and better.
All right.
I'm doing better and better. As with everybody. See, we had a busy day today, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
So we got this timeline tonight we're gonna get busy on. I know they run a little behind here, so anybody got any questions for me so I can give them a time to get themselves together? But the movement's going on. We got some questions for me.
All right, moderator, can you see who has questions in the chat?
Why don't you ask the question? You been on a ship. You ask the question.
Okay.
Y'all waiting on somebody else. Y'all got questions. I said, well, it's a question. It ain't for the public. It's for anybody. You telling me y'all got everything cleared up to run the state. Nobody got no question.
I have a hand up inside the chat.
Have a hand up.
Doesn't matter if it's in the chat or what. If you sitting on the call as potential normal and you ain't got no questions. When I ask for a question, you ain't sitting waiting on everybody else to ask. You got questions yourself. I was waiting. So let's get this thing started off the right foot, all right?
Yes. All right. The question, Emperor. How important was Empress Brady, quote, Thierry, end quote, Washita, Turner, Ghoston, L, Bay, peace be upon her, to your mission as a whole?
Your mission is very, very important because of her her bloodline and the French monarchy and the United States and Spain attempting to hide that bloodline based on treaties and land rights. So when they stole the land, or so-called became protectorates over the 3 million acres, which is the United States, for those who don't know, all up in Canada, okay? When they stole that land in 1700 through some treaty, that was the Empress, Saint Sayil Maria, that they took out of the history books. She was the Empress over that land. And so when Louis XVII, the one that they, that buried a seed with her, it wasn't him giving her no authority. He was regaining his authority from France. So let's get that straight, okay? So the Washita never needed anything for nobody. But they already had their sovereign. They're the oldest independent, autonomous, sovereign, autochthon, indigenous nation on earth. That's on our banner now. That's why you see it. Because I picked up all that energy. You feel me? So when she came through, she did what she had to do based on the records that she got from her grandma, who lived to be 100 and some years old. That was the sarcophagus that they found down in Louisiana. Y'all remember? You remember they found that sarcophagus, Egyptian sarcophagus, and all right, that was the Empress grandmother. Y'all didn't catch that, did you?
No.
So
No, sure didn't.
So she had with all them records that her grandmother left, that's what gave her the energy and the permission to get into go to Spain to get the plat or the declaration from Spain about the land and this Washita land and everything. She wouldn't have got that. That was from all the records that her grandma kept. And she lived to be 100 years old so that them records couldn't get lost because they were attempting to live them records forever. So as French say, we could come over here and plant another damn tree, right? You know what they did in that Trumpian era. Remember they came and planted another tree. Now everybody trying to figure out what France planted another tree. They planted another tree. Why? Because the contract under that they had with the United States was over based on what? The Constitution that I seen there, remember?
Right.
So they had to end that contract. That's why France came over and told the United States they was so-called starting a new era because that contract over. But they couldn't tell their people that because y'all classified citizens or their citizen classified as citizens and they don't want to know that information. You feel me? So that's information dealing with our state and your status. So you coming down to the Empress, that's why she did it. That's prominent. That's why she will go down and she always gonna have a national day, but I done called her name anyway, so I'm cool with her. But because I did what she asked me to do, save the land. So I saved the land outside of everybody, thinking, but the land is on us now. So to answer your question, how poor she is.
Right, thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Thank you on that one, Emperor. Also, I would properly like to present you to everybody. I have the honor, the privilege, and the pleasure to present you, the universal traveler, dweller, coding space, the absolute royal sovereign, coding space, his imperial majesty, coding space, emperor, coding space, Samhu Amini Ray, quote, a day lo yi, end quote. Salam alaikum magic, emperor.
Okay, cool. Salam alaikum magic. I only came on to extend the call to get some questions, not to introduce himself right now, but we'll go with it. We fine. How you doing? I just ain't picture ready yet. Come on.
Also,
so who else got a question? Come on, let's go live. Come on. What we got?
Also like to acknowledge her imperial royal princess, Huhaika Samson-L. Salam alaikum magic, her imperial royal princess.
Oh, hold on a second. Is there any more questions?
Magic.
Hold on a second. Are we starting to call now, or am I still asking questions? Because y'all got me confused. Because I was asking questions. So until this stuff got it ready to should have been, y'all got it straight. But you talking, I'm like, sit, bro. What's going on? We're not gonna have what we had last night. Okay. So y'all gonna keep up and let's do this right. Okay. It's live call. So I came on and say any questions. Then you started calling me out and announce me. I'm asking questions. Why you announcing me? I'm cool with it. That's why I said, but I'm asking questions. Somebody got any more questions for me?
I
have a question, Emperor.
Come on.
Sagdeep, you have the floor.
Sagdeep B. Salam alaikum with magic, Emperor Khufu.
Hey, come on. What's
I
up,
had
brother?
a question on yesterday. You mentioned that there's only one sovereign, which is you, and there's only one Moor, which is you. Did I hear that correctly?
It's considered. It's not. You make sure you got it right. All right. There can only be the Moor. You feel me?
Okay, with the word
the Moor meaning the 100 million in gold contract. They would only be the Moor, not the Moors or the Moorish Americans. Okay, no, that's why I say I am the Moor. You got plenty of Moors out there claiming, but they ain't got no venue to do nothing.
The Iroquois Confederation flag.
Don't mean nothing. They ain't got they don't all that stuff is just it look good, but you can't do nothing with it. It's in our history books. We can say our story. The inner core, that's our story, but what jurisdiction you got? We ain't got no venue to do anything with that Constitution. We can trace it back and say that was the first Constitution, all this and that. I got all that. We don't went over that. But what venue do you have to operate? You feel me?
Right.
So that's where we at right now. Good question. Because that's why a lot of people have confused with, because they finally hearing about us, finally hearing about me, this and that. Okay, well, who this guy? How long he been around? I've been around 20 years. Well, I ain't never heard of him. That ain't my fault. You feel me? So we coming out now because we run a state. We have our own state. So we're not recruiting. So some people think we are, but we're not. The doors is closed for nationality. We control our own gates. But right now we're dealing with a series of calls that we've been going on for over a year now, full moon calls, and doing a 70-week this Daniel thing that we found out within this journey of coming to my seat that we was a part of, I'm a part of. And then, so we closing that session out from January the 28th last year to now, you know, this tomorrow, 3 days, you feel me? So that whole chapter closes out, and then we start a new chapter of, you know, selling our ship, you feel me? So that's why I'm closing out this week, you know. So that's a ship moving. All that stuff, that could be in our university. Hemotep University, our Hemotep University, them classes be taught in there by the inner core, the significance of the inner core, the significance of the Ottoman Empire, significance of all that stuff, because all of it is outdated and ain't got no venue to do nothing. You feel me? So I ain't here to repeat history. I'm here to make history. Our story.
Right.
That makes sense.
So the correct name when I mention that flag is not the Iroquois, the 13-star flag. That's how I need to address it.
Well, that's why I got that flag on my banner, because I own it now.
Correct.
Okay, it doesn't. You know, rebels don't own it no more. It's the reason why I own it. Let's make it straight, okay? It's because it's dealing with the 100 million in gold.
Correct.
So that's just giving the Moors and all that who assume, and all the Caucasian people out there who assume and thinking they got an attachment to Morocco, and they heard all them stories about Al-Morocco and all this kind of stuff. The emperor was here, and Kingdom Morocco is an outpost. You know, all that was stories until I came along to verify. You feel me? Because we got 100 million gold while we ain't using it, right?
Right.
So
what is the correct way for me to address the flag?
Huh?
What is the correct name for me to give to address the flag when I'm talking
What
about
flag?
The 13-star flag.
Oh, I just call it Moor. Like I say, Moor's flag.
Okay, Moor's flag. Okay.
Moor's flag. You can say because
Okay.
that's dealing with the contract. They signed a contract to protect the gold from the African Americans.
Correct.
You trying to get me?
Right.
That's why the Caucasian boy and white boy signed the contract for, to protect the gold.
Correct.
So you chose a contract to be a citizen, which took you away from the gold.
Correct.
You starting to get me? So
right.
then they turn it into a racist flag, because that's what corporations do. To create controversy, right?
Right. So your title is the Moor, which is attached to that flag, and the sovereign part. I wanted to get some clarification on that.
Okay, what clarification you need?
You were saying that you are the sovereign.
I am.
So none of us are. Once we become non-nationals, we have nothing.
You asked that question last night. I thought they gave you the answer.
Sir?
How you gonna be a sovereign? They only one sovereign. You right in that jurisdiction of a sovereign. So how that make you a sovereign? You don't have jurisdiction to write nothing, to sign off of anything. So how that make you a sovereign? If you own a sovereign ship, well, you get the benefits and privilege from the sovereign. It doesn't, but the character and the authority and the diplomatic protocol that comes with that. Well, you can't be touched. So that will give you the perception of a sovereign, because you can't be touched, but you can't write your own order. You can't write your own apostille. You can't write your own check. So how you gonna be a sovereign?
Okay, I get it.
His own shit like I did, create his own shit like I did, and get it verified. That's
right. I got it.
So you just benefit from what the sovereign did. Doesn't make you no sovereign.
Right. I got an overstanding now. I yield. I don't want to hold up the call.
No, you good. Come on. Don't hold up anything. We on live call. Let's go. What you got?
Yeah, I want to give somebody else an opportunity.
Come on, ride with me. What you got?
Oh no, that's it. That's it. That's it for now.
You good? You good?
Yes. Yes, I do. You clearly answered both of my questions.
Okay, that's cool. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you too.
What else we got?
We have a question from Hart from Jer. Nanya Jer Sharuray. You have the floor.
Assalamu alaikum, Magic Emperor. How are you?
I'm better. I'm better. I can say that again. How you be?
Hey, better, Emperor. All right.
Hey.
Yeah, so just piggyback what you was talking about. And the question is this: notice that Empress Brady, she didn't create nationals; she created citizens. All right.
Right. Because that's on jurisdictions. Yeah. Right. Come on.
Okay. So the question is why she didn't. My question is why she didn't know to create nationals. You know, and
well, you gotta go back and look at things in a different way. You got to go back and look at the mindset of the African American Moors, Black status during that era. You feel me? So, like now, you can go back, you can go read the Declaration of Independent, sovereignty of the Washita Moors that she wrote back in '90. And if you read it, you can see where their mindset was at the time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but from that Washita sovereignty, Washita Moors, they created at the UN judicial immunity of states and their property. Okay, they made it a draft, I believe. You feel me? They did that when she did the Declaration of Washita Moor sovereignty. You feel me? So because you got states within the United Nations or claim to be sovereign states that got land or on her land, on our land. You feel me? So that's why you gotta read and study judicial immunity of states and their property. So I'm saying like Haiti, Cuba, Puerto Rico, that's all Washita property. France came along and Spain came along and gave them titles after 1713. You feel me? So anything named after 1713, that's when they had protectorate over your Washita property. So when she got the land right, she didn't get the full faith and credit that I got. So she can only do what? She had a royal status, but she had to get the full faith and credit for who? United States. So that's why we created United Washington Nation Moor. I'm gonna say United Washington the Monument when Crown Prince Ramsey Baby had her power that created a sovereign state. That was the first time that the Mason rules of France, the royal family, the monarchy, that's the first time that seat had full faith and credit through all the other 6 Marquis de Mason rules. You feel me? It finally got.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. That's when that seat got all the monarchy of France. It had the United States gave full faith and credit. They just didn't know how to run a state. Like you said, I'm having all the issues now with people because they don't understand how to run a state. You feel me? And they got, making it harder than it is because they helping the United States run that state. Or they helping the cut, you know what I'm saying? They're helping all the wherever cities they from in these 50 states, they helping them, stay afloat for a paycheck. You feel me? But they won't come over here and learn how to run their own damn state so they can pay their damn self. You feel me? Yeah. And your credits accepted all over the damn world. But they still want massa to keep giving permission to make paycheck. Then retirement, they say, So that's that program slave mentality that we've got to get out of if you want to run your own damn state. You feel me? You gotta have that authority that you born with. You got the venue to exercise that authority. Make sense?
Absolutely. Appreciate for the clarity, Emperor.
We good now?
Yes. Thank you.
What else we got? Well, y'all ready to get going?
We are ready to get going, Emperor.
All right, let's see if no question first.
There are 2 more hands inside the queue. We have
right, come on.
Go ahead, Nanya Harjet.
Assalamu alaikum, Magic Emperor. You mentioned before about the appointment that you have coming. What is the appointment you have and how important?
It's already in motion. You have an appointment when you have a venue.
Okay.
If you don't have a venue, you don't have an appointment. Because you ain't got nothing to be appointed to. You feel me? If you get a job, they give you an oath of office. That's not an appointment. You feel me? Or they make you a manager. That's not an appointment. You feel me? Or a supervisor. That's not an appointment. Or the president of the United States. That's not an appointment. You feel me? That's an elected position that's under the democracy of the United States. So when you got an appointment, that makes you got your own constitutional authority, and you got a venue where you have to walk. You have to arrive through your appointment to exercise what? Your standing, full faith credit, jurisdiction, diplomacy, and everything else. So that's why, and that's in motion now. Because we had to grow into it. And so y'all, you been growing into it. So you gotta, so out there on the market, you don't hear nobody got no appointment. The Philly crew, no appointment. Atlanta crew, no appointment. York crew, no appointment. Muslim crew, no appointment. Christian crew, no appointment. Ain't nobody got no appointment. You feel me? You just gotta accept what they gave you, and that's it. You can pick it. You can protest what's going on, but you don't have anything else outside of what they gave you as structure of governments, countries. You feel me? So now you got a brand new country emerging or into the development stage in 2023 that's already got approval from the whole damn world. And you just ain't heard about us because we walk small with a big stick. And we make sure everything is solidified before we keep selling this ship. So that's what the appointment is, because you got to arrive so you can open up business.
That's right.
So it's, help you out with that question. Well,
that help. Yeah, that help.
Let me help you out some more with that question. So who you need to go through to further that appointment? You ain't got to go to nobody. See what I'm saying? Because you already got full faith credit from the United States. You don't have to go to them for anything. They already gave you full faith credit to do everything you need to do, or your state need to do, diplomacy, international, whatever that you need to do, and they don't step in our business, and we don't step in their business, but we can operate we can operate in the world.
That's right.
You see? So that's why it's so new to people, because they ain't never heard of, or it can't exist, some say, right? It can't exist, but it do exist. And you have to be the leaders of it and live in it and, work in it. So that's what we have this call to give people clarity on who we are. Why? Because it ain't supposed to exist. You'll have some say, well, Christ must be returned. I crack up when that stuff, right? So that was the only appointment left, remember? See? That's what they say he had an appointment. He said he's coming. He's gonna arrive. He got Savior, he got healing in his wings. That's an appointment. You feel me? They already verified his existence for them to appoint him as a Christ figure.
Right.
But then the military of the United States said, well, if we got an object coming out of the sky, we're going to shoot it down. So they gave permission to enter in one breath, and then on religion level, on the military level, they're going to shoot it down. So, they're going to attempt to shoot it down. You feel me? Because the story don't make sense. So you got to have an appointment, you see? So the church came and gave him an appointment. He said, he's your Savior in Christ. That's an appointment. So you got an appointment now. Why? That's why you see mine is so different. Why? You got your own culture. You got everything. Why? You got an appointment. So you officially on the world market to do business what? Internationally and universally. You feel me?
They did say he's going to come in like a thief, like a night. So I don't know if we're going to know.
They're supposed to be in rapture a couple weeks ago, so they got missed if he came like a thief in the night, right?
All right, thank you, Empress. Much appreciated. Thank you. All right,
what have we got?
Who else? In the chat from Dino about
y'all having fun yet?
Yes, Emperor.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was quite interesting. Yes.
Get y'all loosen up a little bit here. All right, what else we got?
You got
Binu about who? His hand is up in the chat. Then return it
All right, come on.
to the host.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Hey, Salam alaikum, man.
So I know when we had a couple of other calls before, and you said that there was gonna be some changes. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And I noticed right around your solar return, and then you were saying your appointment was coming up. Then Morocco gets hit with an earthquake. Did that have anything? Does that represent anything like a shift of power, or to show that's
Well,
not?
it has some significance to be worked out because it hit Marrakesh.
Right.
So that's where the treaty was signed at. You feel me?
That's what raised my eyebrow.
Right. So that's where the treaty was signed at. So, and you know, it has a White House. You know, the United States is the second White House. Y'all know that, right?
Slipped my mind.
Elaborate.
I didn't know that.
No.
Casablanca. That's where the original White House is. That's the second White House in D.C.
Right.
That's why we was cracking up back in the day when they told the African Americans they could be Second Baptist, not First Baptist. Remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
See what I'm saying? They was, you know, throwing it back in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they second White House, not the first White House. But anyway, that's the treaty. So you know, there's something that, you know, because I raised up an ancestor's flag. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You say, why are you an ancestor? Because I got all the bloodlines linked under my flag. So what the United States and France and England did with slavery, I came and knocked it out with one punch. You feel me?
Right.
Because I united all the bloodline into one flag. So because you see my banner.
Mm-hmm.
You got Almaroc, you got Washington, you got Yamasi, you got TikTok, you got all that. You got Asiatic black man, you got, you know, you got Kushner, you got Krishna, you got all that. You feel me?
Right.
So you can only move that way under your flag because you got so many bloodline races out here. So you ain't got time to keep playing this. I'm black, I'm white, I'm yellow, I'm green, all that bullshit. That's that democracy, color of law. You see?
Mm-hmm.
You got a sovereign state and a sovereign country. You got a state under that country. We got four of them, but you know, you got to operate as sovereign internationally. These are citizens of a state that they gave up all their jurisdiction in their birth record to exist. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing they can do because they're a democracy. They don't have no backing. They have no foundation, as they say, or they say systematized. See, Benjamin Franklin, they systematized it back in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington finally systematized in 4 March 1789. What? With a Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, Georgia boy, George Washington, he was also the 10th president of a company named the United States of America that was created by who? Benjamin Franklin. Where? In England.
Right.
So the only thing they did was what? They took the corporate United States of America and gave it a constitution. Y'all didn't catch that, did you?
Mm-mm-mm.
That's why you see who benefits from this constitution you in. The corporation. All corporation create. Look at your life. Everything's catered to the corporation. It ain't catered to no damn citizens. It's catered to the corporation.
That's fact. Mm-mm-mm.
And they give you social welfare for the benefits. Because you agreed to be what? A dead person.
Trust me.
A non-Gregorian citizen. Scrawl man, some say.
Right.
we have fun, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Start off live and remote, right?
right.
So what else we got? That help your question out, little bro?
Definitely, Emperor. Thank you.
All right.
I yield.
Any more?
Yeah, we have had two more questions, more hands
Come
in
on.
the queue, but you want to get to the timeline, or you want to go ahead and answer these questions now?
I come on. Who got next question? I'm not even going
Lamar O'Limit.
your tune on this. Who got next question?
Brother Lamar
Salam
O'Limit.
alaikum with magic. This is Lamar Lemons.
Hey, brother.
Great. How are you, Emperor?
I'm great. Brother.
You sound like you're great. It was good to hear from you guys. What has it been? 2 weeks, I think.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, I know time is flying. I know you're busy. So I'm curious about a part. I'm not just curious. I want to know how does it work, jurisdiction, as far as the court goes? Say we have a dispute with a contract in somewhere in Africa or something. How does that work?
Depends on what that contract you're talking about, little bro.
Right. Let's just say you
got to look at your hold on. You got to look at your status.
Right.
All right. So at your status, you said a contract. You ain't nowhere near a contract right now. Only close contract you got right now is being nationalized. All right. So when you start talking about government business, well, we have treaties. Okay. You're a sovereign state. So you have everything. Everything has to be under the jurisdiction of your court. So when you go read the judicial military states and their property, the first order of law is what? The court. See, so you can't allow nothing in your state to be under jurisdiction of another state. You can see that in the states of the United States of America. See, they got invisible lines you cross over, and these invisible lines say these are our citizens, and then this is what they got to do. Boom, boom. You go to another state. You see what I'm saying? Crossing. Now what about note? So when you're doing a contract, I'm gonna say a treaty with your state, you got to look at what type of trust or what type of foundation that we got set up through the Moor thing that I gave you in the public notice, that you operate with these sovereign countries. You say everything is worded out. It ain't about trust. It ain't about liking the person. It ain't about color of skin. It's just about the contract, let's say the trust contract that you got, and the parties that's agreed to it, if it's a trust, a foundation, or a treaty, or a lot of times security agreement. Basically, that's the bottom line of it. You feel me?
Okay.
If you understand security agreement. So it's like each party is held at the same level. So if that party violate that security agreement, we say, okay, make it long story short. You feel me? All right, then that way it go. Now you got jurisdiction to do what? To settle that claim inside of your court.
Anywhere in the world.
Don't give a damn.
Right.
It's different. You have your own constitutional authority. You have your own court. So you got to stay within the jurisdiction of your boundaries. That's what I told y'all. You got to learn your constitution. That's systematized of your state. So you don't cross outside of that venue and go get yourself in a jam in a foreign country because you can't understand contract. And then you trying to force it back over your state, and you gave them complete authority over the paperwork because it's inside their jurisdiction. That's why you hear. That's why the Supreme Court acts of state to wit. What they say? No state can sit in the seat of another what? State. So if it came from a corporation, United States Supreme Court Corporation, where they get it from? International law. No country can sit in the seat of another country. That country has states. But since the United States is not a country, they had to give you the state part. You feel me?
Hence diplomatic immunity.
Well, you going to different levels now. You going places now. You out there. You going out in the wild land. So now you bring different immunity up. You don't have nothing to because under your state constitution, your country constitution, that's all that shit come with all that. So to ask that part, I don't see where you're going.
Right, I got you. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to digging in on that part and getting being more clear about that. Thank you, Emperor. Thank you.
But it's just you understand your venue.
Yeah.
And you got to understand your constitution. Yeah. All right, let me ask you a question. Do you understand the constitution of the country you live in now?
Yeah, there's some parts of it I get pretty strong.
Well, you don't understand them then. Because if you're not going, it's like you walk around with a hand tied behind your back. You operate as a citizen of that country, but you don't know the constitution and the functions of that whole citizenship because you want to be programmed to go a certain way. Okay, so that's why I say.
Well, yeah.
I see the difference now.
Yeah.
So you want to come over here and
that is free will.
And under our venue, right? But over here you got to know the constitution though, because we you know, treason is death by a fire squad for now. Maybe something else by the time I finish naming. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to come in and create no damn treason. And I mean, you got to know your stuff. So you at the beginning of a long journey on a long path. So the foundation is systematized in your constitution. And if you don't fully understand it, you got a university, so you got to care everybody that's around you like they doing to get into your university to do what? Know your damn constitution. Because you want to see how far your wings can spread.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why keep them under your armpit when you can spread them out? You know, like you see them big eagles and they just let the sun dry their wings out. You feel me? You know?
Right.
You don't have to use all of it, but you got it if you need it. You feel me?
Know the parameters where I'm at.
You got 3 crowns on your national flag on our emerging flag. You got 3 freaking crowns. Ain't nobody on the market got no freaking crowns on their national flag or country flag. Who? You got a lot of coat of all the crowns. You don't see England. They got the what they call that, the Jack flag. Come on.
Wow.
Union Jack.
Yeah, this is a lot to.
You don't see no crowns up there. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, France, they got 3 color flags. They're like Russia, all of them. Just a different going up down, one going vertical, one going horizontal. You feel me? Africa, what flag you got? Ukraine, they got the what? The what's that? The Tatrum or something they call it?
I don't know.
That Neptune guy from Virginia Beach or something called Zeus. That he holding in his hand, the three pit. What they call that?
Oh, the trident.
Trident. What else they got? What flag? Look at the United States. 50 stars, stripe. Come on, what's that? Look at Canada. Got a leaf on there. Come on, what's that?
Continental.
Look at Canada. They got a leaf on there. What's that?
Crown is not the
And y'all
crown.
got to understand contract law because all of that stuff work around what? Flag law.
Flag law, yeah.
So you got a constitution. You got bills in the United States. Go read up on the flag. It's everything about around flag law.
How do we decide which flag to fly at certain situations? How do you
That's all for the
determine
government and function, not for this call. This is a live call dealing with 70 weeks.
Gotcha.
Them type functions is yet to be determined until you go sit in the seat. You feel me?
Right.
Makes sense to you?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Emperor.
If you don't ever get me on a ship, Emperor, I'm going to answer all these damn questions. We got you, bro. It was a little, like I said, I'm picky. And I see some, because I ain't got time to keep going back and forth. So we got no thing on the application we have to straighten out electronically. So that stuff done, and you be getting it this week, hopefully. And, you know.
Yeah, this is a big stage with big shoes to fill.
Well, I mean,
so.
you've been waiting long enough, so when I give it to you this week, y'all get it. You should have taken no more than a week to get it in. You feel me? So you've been waiting for it. You feel me? You should have everything ready. I gave you time to get everything ready, right?
Right.
All right. You should have no excuses when you hit it, right?
That's right. Finance is a little tight, but we're working day and night. Finance is a little tight, but we're working day and night.
I hear all that. Only thing I can do is run a state. I don't want no problems, all right? I tell y'all earlier that that is the beach who was on the boardwalk. So everyone want to give you a problem, don't they?
Man.
That's
I ain't
true.
want none of that. Keep that one. All right, what else we got?
Thank you, Emperor.
All right, you good? Hey, say what we say, y'all know information. It's good for us not to accept none of that, right?
That's right. It's healthy for me to be this way.
It's healthy for you to be that way, right? All right, well, we good now. We ready?
Yeah, one more in the queue. This brother Zahub.
What you got?
Brother Zahub, you had the floor.
Oh, Assalamu alaikum magic. I was still on mute. Sorry.
That's fine. Don't be sorry. Come on.
Okay. You said the Marquis de Misson Rouge line. This is the first time that it's had full faith and credit. My question is, how old is the concept of full faith and credit?
Go back. It's the oldest law. Because you gotta have. It just goes along with the whole function of governments. So you know, it was a wild west. And you know, 1700s, because you have people coming and going to different countries and creating contracts and saying they part of the royal family and getting a $2 million contract, and then they find out 6 months later he ain't got no connection, she ain't got no connection, you know. So to eliminate that problem on the UN Charter, they created what they call the apostille process. You feel me? Right. So under the apostille process, each country now with their full faith and credit, they have their own apostille process. Okay, so every state had a, you know, it depends on their constitution. You know, they have a same 3-tier. You know what I'm saying? So tier 1 is state to state. So if this person who claimed to be a prince ain't a prince goes into this country, they say they're gonna do business with some gold country, you know, oil, all that crap they come up with, right? And then so now you can go to the State Department and verify and see if this person is in fact part of that, you know, genealogy. You feel me? So that's then you gotta look at the full faith and credit that comes with what? The constitution or parliament, whatever is granted to each state. You feel me? So now you look at that and say, well, look at the United States bond system, right? Well, when they send the bonds out based on full faith and credit, they gotta guarantee that what? When it's time to do, they gotta pay, right?
Right.
That's full faith and credit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no damn money. It's a bond. It's a treasury note bond. So they say, well, you hold this bond for 30 years. You know, at the end, they got to pay it. That's what they writing off of what? The full faith and credit. So where did the full faith and credit come from? They claim the Constitution. But where did that Constitution come from? That Constitution came from your Constitution. And then they got a trust attached to that and run it like an oligarch because they ain't got no sovereignty. If the United States had sovereignty, you wouldn't have no $34 trillion in debt.
Right.
So as Malcolm said back in the day, you bamboozle. Because you go out there in the world and say the United States country. Where's that country at? And they got citizens. Citizens is not citizens is product, is corporation. So that makes you gotta have a corporation country if you're a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back to what we were talking about with the Empress, remember? She can only do citizen what? She was still a corporation. Even though she had a royal bloodline, she couldn't get outside of what? That debtor status. That all cap name.
Okay.
They didn't know how to become what? A foreign national country. Now, we created it in 203, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have people out there doing it, you know, every year, doing their best to figure it out, the militia and everybody, right? When I tell y'all, talk to us, Bishop, 217, 218, you see how far we was ahead? See, it didn't even come into their frame of thinking into 217. So you see how we were looking in 205 and we were walking around saying we got full faith, and say we were foreign national owned country. You see how people looking at us?
Right.
Because it 217, when they finally figured out what? You got to be something like a foreign national in your own country. How long we been saying that, y'all? Because being a foreign national owned country, that makes you can drop that contract outside of them, inside of your venue, and all of that wealth becomes your country. Now it's property of your country. You feel me? So what I do for y'all, what I say. Well, then I'm gonna give you an opportunity to document in our state, but that's a contract between you and your mom. You feel me? So your mama gave you that birth certificate. Now you're a non-national, you're gonna drop it over here. That's your wealth. How else you gonna get paid? That's your wealth. You feel me? So then you gotta pay the government a percentage. I told y'all can vote on that, what, 10%? Let's say 10%. Right? So you said 10%. Then you say you get 3 million. Okay, 300,000. Well, you got an apartment in the government that's under Binding Global Financial Institution, Imperial Binding Global Financial Institution, that operates that. Okay? And what do they do with that? They invest in what? Gold, silver, platinum, whatever, what? To keep systematizing your what? Your government.
Right.
Now the rest of it is funded through what? Whatever department of your state, back to your bank account, whoever you are. And you see, so you don't see that part, do you? I'm away at it now, right? Y'all all right?
Good.
Good. Thank you, Emperor. Thank you for answering my question. You might ask one more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm open. Come on.
Okay.
We had a whole lot going on today. So now, you know, people traveling to get to a certain point to get set up. And so, with all that back and forth, that's why I just open up the calls until they get there, you know, get to where they're going and get set up so we can move this thing. That's all. That's where we're at now. So if I want to overboard, I'm cool. You feel me? So, you know, we having fun. You feel me? So come on.
All right. As far as China being broke, so you mentioned also that China being broke.
Oh,
all
China,
right,
all broke.
Yeah, because you mentioned early in the call about we were talking about the Demi-Son Rouge line and their full faith and credit. So, do you think that's the reason why a lot of these African countries are ousting France and trying to do business with China?
You gotta realize that I've been behind the wire doing a whole lot of stuff, and they know me behind the wire. So it's you know, you got to realize they got a lot of bond contracts in the United States. That treasury bond system, the hedging they had going on, that trapped a whole lot of Africa. All the way back, you know, you go back to Congo. We talking the other night with King Dome. You feel me? They dissolved that whole line. You feel me? So this man making a magical crown as an African king and put a prophecy on it, and it fits a head that's coming to the power, the world power, and you ain't got them in the history books. You see? Because they don't want to know you, they don't want you to know that type of magic exists. They want you to believe in some Greek god, some Neptune nigga with, you know, looking like God of the seas and bullcrap. That's you go trade the history of it, that's going by the Inky. That's your bloodline. So they came and stole everything from you. So, but it can't keep living on that level because you got your own story. So you got to tell your own story. Look at the languages, okay? Someone say go back to cuneiform, go back to Nawapi. We're gonna keep tracing. Well, then you can go in Albania and they got a language go back for all of them.
It's in Albania?
You see? You don't know that. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't know that.
Imperial Ambassador Law, you on tonight? When you get on, you'll get back to that one, all right?
Okay. Thank you.
One time today, y'all was on the same language class. We were talking about that.
Salam alaikum, Miss Magic.
Hey,
Yes,
Salam alaikum, Imperial Ambassador Law.
It's just that the internet, it takes quite a while to connect.
Okay. All right, so break it down for me, Imperial Ambassador Law.
Oh yes. Yeah, Albania, it's one of the countries that has the most ancient tradition, and when you look at the Albanian culture, everything goes back way back in time. And just recently, we've had archaeologists digging, and in one of the lakes that is like 25 minutes away from me, they found like wooden pillars where they had settlements that was built, and the settlements date back to over 8,500 years, and they are still excavating. And in many other areas, they found out that the settlements are the oldest that they could trace in Europe. Also, a Greek scholar, he came this year, and he said that the Albanian language, it's the oldest language in Europe and one of the oldest languages in the world. And they could have traced it back to more than 8,500 years. So everything about the culture, even when you talk about the months of the year, they wouldn't tell you September as we say, but they tell you the 7th month, and October they will tell you the 8th month, November the 9th month, December the 10th month. That's how they still have it in the language. So everything in Albania is just very ancient, and just because Albania, before it was called Albania, it was called Illyria, which they also call Illyricum. And the word Illyria, the E, it's pronounced like I. The I is pronounced like the letter E in English. So when they say Illyri, it had to do with L, and it goes back to Enlil, because they had great respect for that god or that deity. So when you look at the history of the Illyrians, it goes all the way, because the land goes all the way past Bosnia, and you still have pyramids up in the Bosnian area where they tell you it's like 750 feet taller than the pyramids of Egypt. So all these structures are still standing there. So the history of Albania, it goes way back compared to the countries in Europe. And even the language, they tell you the oldest language in Europe is Albanian. Then you have Armenian comes second. When they talk about the Greek and the Latin, that came very far down the line. They had Germanic and many other languages long before even the Greek came about, or the Latin. Sometimes when we hear about the Latin language, it sounds that Latin is very old, but it's nothing compared to how old the Albanian language is. So I yield.
All right, so now to help y'all out, and to help you, the further along this a little bit further, Enlil, okay? Enlil is Enki's brother. Enlil was called, in some language, Mikael, because he was the crown prince of Nibiru, okay? Enki was crown prince at first, but through Kishar and Anshar, when you look at Saturn, Anshar, Jupiter, Kishar, that's the ancient names. And that when they ruled Nibiru, they came up with the blood, seed of the blood. So even though Enki was born first from his mother Id, who was a Dragonian princess, well, when Anu, the heavenly one, y'all say God or Allah, when Anu married his half sister Atum, when they had Enlil, he became the crown prince. So they say they trace in their history, their story all the way back to Enlil. So that's to help y'all out a little bit on that story. So everybody cool?
Yes, I am. Yes, Emperor. Thank you for the answers. I yield.
Y'all sure y'all cool, right?
Yeah.
I don't hear Bakari Ray. You know, he's supposed to be, you know, where he at? I was like, y'all cool? I dropped some signs out there. He's supposed to be all chain with it, but he, and I'm like, where you at?
I'm on it. No, I'm on it. Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum. There you go. Get it right. All right. So I'm gonna let you know. When I broke that down, I know you on that. You know that travel. So So I'm just, I didn't hear your energy. So that's all. You know me. All right. So everybody cool?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes, Protector.
Yes.
All right. So y'all done got a whole lesson, right? In 30 minutes.
Yes, Protector.
More wisdom, more Jews.
That was a good one for y'all, right? Good lesson for you. All right, so now we can get finished up with this 70 plus 4 weeks, right? All right. You ready?
No more hands in the queue, host. The floor is yours.
No more hands?
No more hands.
YouTube, nobody? You good?
There's a question from YouTube.
I have one from YouTube.
All right, what you got?
This is from Queen Nefertiti Iona. She says, Grand Rising. I would like to know if there's a connection between you and the other nationwide alert taking place on the 4th of October, 2023.
Well, that nationwide alert is certain mind control they get ready to do. It ain't gonna bother us. I'm totally outside of that, but yeah, it could be something similar to me coming. I'm at that stage of being announced to the world, so we just going along with the flow. But they got a lot of stuff coming up in October, especially what just happened in September. You feel me? So in the skies and everywhere with the green comet, green bluish comet, Kachina, old days, comet these days, the astro child going through that astro, that zodiac in the sky that a lot of folk been talking about all month. So a whole lot of stuff is they claiming that what you just said about the 4th, some rapture they supposed to be having, but since I've been going through this 70 plus 7 plus 4 weeks, them cats done had about 15 raptures, you know what I mean? So they still pushing it, so they still, out there on the market. But in this 70 week that we going on here, it ties into my coming to my seat. And it's, so it's kind of interesting that at this level, when we you are officially coming out on the market, and they can't hold you back no more. You know, so they shake things up, black things out, and then you got some people saying it's supposed to be attached to the shops. You know, so you know it's yet to be seen, but you know. We prepared anyway with our mind and everything we're doing, how we studying, and just, you know, me, I got a whole ship myself. So it ain't just a ship I got to get y'all on. I got another ship too. See, so I just don't bring that one out that much. You know, so they say, you ever seen an alien? I said, well, I can look in the mirror and see that. And they say, well, hey, you ever seen a spaceship? And I said, yeah, I can verify that I seen a spaceship. See, so, but my story on a spaceship is, who was that spaceship? What was that? What, Columbia. It was Challenger. That's the last one McNair was on. What was that one? Challenger?
Yes, Emperor.
Yes.
Right. He wasn't on Columbia. He was on Challenger.
Challenger, right. Well, I was traveling to DC, and me and this brother named Wally, I leave the last name wrong. And we seen a spaceship, a sham we call now. And it was, I had told people all the years, it was 30 miles or longer, round, descending in the sky. And we traveled on 85 north and outside of well, you know, that last rest area in 85 north, that's my landmark. That's why I pulled in. So about 5 miles, maybe 10 miles before that, this ship descended down and beamed the light on me. I'm running about 85, 90 miles down the road, rolling. And I don't sit by there and say, oh, no, y'all know how we roll out on the road, so no, cut the bull. Anyway, you're right, you know, so traffic is rolling. And this ship shines a light down and takes my hands off the steering wheel, and I'm inside of this orb, this ship, this light. So Wally, he said that he decided, you know, reach over to grab the steering wheel because the beam had me. And then when he said he reached over to grab the steering wheel, we was in a Nissan 200 SX hatchback. He was laying sideways when I came through. And that's why he told me we got the rest area. But when I was in that zone, they showed me the Challenger blowing up 8 months before it blew up. Everything. I seen the whole picture. And I told people, that's when they started calling me a prophet and all that stuff. And some called me the devil and all that because they died. But I seen the whole thing. It's like I was sitting there right across the lake and just watching the whole thing. And it ain't happened yet. So when I came through from that, what they showed me, he and pulled in rest area, he was, who the goddamn call, man? Who the goddamn call, man? So we get in the rest area, and you know, and he said when he reached the grab the steering wheel, he had a seatbelt on. It flipped him sideways. So he said he trying to raise the window down, it ain't working. And he trying to open the door, it ain't working. And then I came through. So you see, so I went through this for years and traveling in my mind and hearing all the UFO stories out there and people getting picked up and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, mine was different. I mean, they literally showed me the future. You know what? So through this journey where I'm at now, I came to the conclusion that I either got to be a part of that ship, and that's the only way it can make sense. Well, so why would you come and shine a light on me and show me something that happened 8 months later of a spaceship blowing up in the sky and everybody dying? Everybody, you show me that, and I tell people, and a lot of people know. I told plenty of people, I'm trying to figure it out. and they called me a prophet back then. And so now you got to keep growing with it, live with it. So what? How you feel? You see? So you had to come. I came to the club. Well, that's me and that ship got to be warm. Who else is going to agree with me on that one? Everybody gonna agree with me?
I agree with you, shit. I do.
I second that
Hey,
emotion.
I mean, what else can you say? You gonna go to the UFO Academy and NASA or somebody to get an answer? Come on, it's real time stuff. You feel me?
Right.
Then you continue growing up to be a emperor. You feel me? Like, are you serious? And then so that part ain't even came to me yet. So I know I got to finish out that part. You feel me? Because why would you do it then? You feel me? What's the point? That's why you hear that question. They be talking about all this, and I be telling them, they be talking about all this crisis stuff. I be telling them, to make it real, tell that nigga give you the numbers for the new lottery, because he should be able to see the future, right? Y'all there? Everybody asleep?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he should be able to see the future, but he can't.
So you see, so look at my journey. Look at the story they got to write on me. You feel me? So so that just get how big this thing been coming around me. Ain't nobody see me, and I had all this stuff happening. You feel me?
All right.
That messed a lot of you with that.
Yes, it did.
I see it. I see it as they let you know that they're with you. We got your back. Is the way I see it.
Well, why would they come and shine the light down me and show me the future? What was the purpose?
Just to let you know, we here. Maybe you need to ask. I don't know.
Show the
connection.
That's why I say I got to be connected to the ship. I got a ship. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like when I'm looking at Star Wars, they said beam me down. They go somewhere. I'm like, that's like I beam myself down to come up in this body and watch everything around here. But I got this divine connection to this royal ship, and they showed up at this particular day and time and just beamed the light down on me and showed me the future. And you know what I'm saying? Like you could, so you got to grow with that. For all these years, then you keep growing in who you is, and now you end up being the emperor of the world. And you got these blocks that got to be uncovered. And y'all on the ship with me now, so you can write them stories up, right?
Gotta get sick.
Indeed.
Y'all don't remember what President Biden said, right? President Joe Biden, you remember what he said? What did he say?
What did he say?
The United States get ready to go places you ain't never seen, because they know I'm coming out.
Eesh.
So he had to be talking. Who else you gonna be talking about? Because they can't go nowhere with 34 trillion in debt. So they know something coming. They got some wealth that United States getting to go places you ain't never seen. Because they know I'm coming. I'm on record. Y'all come on, y'all know me. Y'all good?
Right. Best kept secret.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
Here we are.
Ain't best kept secret no more, right?
Probably not.
Days over with.
All right, what else we got before we get going?
Okay, if there is anything else, Emperor?
Some more hands in the
I don't think I got more questions. We can roll.
All right. No hands up in the chat. No hands up in YouTube. We are proceeding forward. All right. During this scheduled reading, this quote 70+7 week timeline, there will be brief pauses between months to allow Q&A. We ask that you keep your mics muted, videos off, and accolades, comments, concerns, or questions reserved until such time. Therefore, the following house rules shall be implemented. We ask that you speak clearly and respectfully when addressing His-Imperial-Majesty. For those logged into Zoom, we ask that you use the raise hand feature and wait for the host or moderator to call your appellation, parentheses, your name. Please limit your question to a maximum of 2 and focus on the subject at hand. To limit any confusion and allow others to present their questions, please state your appellation name clearly before asking your question. So let's go to slide 17, where we left off yesterday. All right. We're going to have the first reader come up and read, introduce their name, and proceed with the reading of the slide.
Yeah, we went over the Empress last night.
I'm leaking with magic. I am the case of the TMA. Ray, and I'll be your reader for this portion.
Hey, the Castle. Slam League Magic.
Slam leaking with magic, Emperor.
I can't see you.
Oh.
There you go.
All right. April 2022.
We went over this last night.
No, I'm sorry, just getting organized.
All right.
April 2022. 1 April was the new moon.
Yeah, but the Kessler, we went over this last night. Go to the next slide. We went over this.
All right. Yeah.
I think this is where we stopped at right here. State of Georgia into a state. I explained that by the state of Georgia going to motu proprio. Y'all want me to go over that again?
No, we actually start in June.
I don't
All
have
right, come on.
control of the slides.
Oh, my bad. Come on now.
All right. April, pardon me.
No, come on down. They got April. They need to get down. Avenue Fear, come on down. Nama went to doggone Black Obama. I'm gonna say Barack Obama. And then come on.
So we start in June.
Oh, I ain't talking about Press Bay, so wherever you at, you gotta stop. Red Wind Sand Reacher, U.S. Blood Rain. Born day for Prince Ramsey Bay. 135 million immortified deities. 13th June. First signs of 70 plus 7 plus 4 week prophecy was averted by a gradual economic collapse in the world market. 13th of June. Kufu News without science finesse. They'll nationalize the embassy Native American. Moor. All right, so questions here. This is Crown Prince Ramsey Bay right here on the right. Okay, he's the 7th Marquis de Maison Rouge. For all those who don't know. Okay, so he didn't have no seed. He had no children. So when he docked the Crown Prince seat under the sovereign state, I own the state. Y'all understand now?
Yes, very important.
Yes.
So
That's how I got 8. That's how I got 8. Because I'm always attached to the bloodline through nationality. See, you got to realize something. He made them nationalize me, Chief Maku. You nationalize as Chief Maku, you own the state. So everybody else get nationalized to be a Washington Moor or Moor. You feel me? Like a citizen.
Yes.
He had them nationalize me as Chief Maku or Maku Chief Thunderfire. You see? So that's Crown Prince Ramsay Bay right there. Okay, that's his scepter, his staff, and everything. So that's who Verdiasi, Empress, announced to the world in 2000, I think it was. The Crown Prince. Some say, oh, what about her son? Well, she was on record as saying, whatever you do, don't let it get back in his hand. So that's who she appointed. So when she went into the coma, he had all her authority. So they tried to say she was speaking in a coma to try to degrade his authority. So I need to see the record where she spoke while she was in a coma. You feel me? So, you know, that made sense to you. Huh? Because, come on, you're in a coma. But they tell you she woke up and spoke to certain people and told them blessings to do what they doing. Y'all heard all that crap out there, right? Trying to downgrade this man's power because they wanted her son to acclaim that seat. I have no problem with any of that. He has got to show verification that he's a prince on the venue. He got verification that he's a corporation on the United States out of the state of California. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? You can't be in two places at one time, right?
Right.
Correct.
So he has no status under a sovereign state. So that's that young man right there. That young man right there, Marquis de Masson, that's him. And he tied himself to the bloodline. Y'all keep your phone on mute. You talking? All right, Nikessa, you gonna talk or what you gonna do? Because you got a lot of background noise. All right. So y'all understand what's going on here with this nationality? Yes. How important it was?
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Very important.
My mistake. It's going to be hard. That's going to do it. The reading.
All right, that's fine. You ain't got to announce that on air. What are you talking? Come on, next slide. Why you say something like that? Come on. All right, what we got here? So this is June. So this is where we starting at right here tonight?
Correct.
All right. Y'all know the world know I'm hard. It ain't. I'm an up-to-date emperor, right? So there ain't no honeymooning and pats on the back. I told me we straight. You know, I come straight. Some things ain't rolling. They say they hear. If they hear me, they do it the way I want or where it's supposed to be. If they don't, we have the issues. So that don't feel bad for them because you the same way. Whoever listening, you hear what you want to hear. That's part of you transfer over to become your own state. And that's the stuff we got to deal with. The people bringing over, trying to attempt to bring over across the ship. All this, what they got over there. Well, none of that going to work over here. So I stand at the gate. So I got to make sure that they ain't keep trying to bring that residue from that de facto corporation and the way they think and believe over there, over here. So y'all see my job ain't easy, right?
Right.
That's why I gotta be on the 24/7. You feel me?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Here. All right. So let's go. 14. This is gonna be interesting. All right. So you ready to go? So you gotta announce the whole thing now, right? Who I am, the princess, and all that stuff now, right?
Okay, let me reintroduce the princess, Micah.
All right.
Welcome, princess. Welcome, Princess Huayka. Samson-L. Her-Imperial Royal Princess, :space, Princess Huayka, Samson-L. Welcome. Also, All our Imperial dynamic non-nationals for their questions, those working behind the scenes, and our viewing audience for their attendance and presentations. Please mark your calendars for tomorrow at 1700. We will read again for the continuation of the 70 plus 7-week prophecy of H.E.M. journey, as well as celebrate Crown Day. H.E.M. arrival to his seat and solar return. Third, 58, quote unquote.
58 number 3. Get it right.
Date number cha.
All right, so we got right here. What we got here? He said the 14th of June, the first super moon. That's interesting, y'all, because we're in the last super full moon now, right? So that way you can trace yourself back to the 14th of June, okay? Everybody, trace yourself back to the first super moon of the year, called a, quote, strawberry moon, end quote. Quote, rose moon, end quote, and quote, honeymoon, end quote, are classified when the moon is at 360,000 km parentheses or less, from Earth in its orbital path. So that's the first supermoon. So that'd be June, July, August, September. So you have 4 super full moons. So this is the harvest. So whatever you put out in June, you should be harvesting it now. Now, so who wrote notes? Who wrote themselves some notes? Interesting, right? All right, so I just put that out there for everybody, because that's you on the last. This is a harvest moon called harvest moon, full moon. And then you got the 15th. You got the date set for Christian church to be raptured. That's another one, y'all. See, they missed it. 15th of June, y'all. No rapture occurred. All right, so you see they're a year late, right? All right, so y'all see what we can ask some questions, right? While they're still here, right? All right, so we got 20. That's the constructed agreement, 5604B, parentheses, signed by the Embassy Native American government via Manufacturing Embassy and the state of Georgia. Granted full faith and credit on 20 June 2003. It's 19-year anniversary. So we're in the 20th-year anniversary now. So that's wicked, because that's the favorite number of Anunnaki. All right. So, because see, y'all got to understand something now. Georgia had the authority, not the United States. Y'all got that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All y'all got that? You sure? You think the world got it?
Emperor, could you explain how Georgia is
they lost.
a state of USA and it has more authority than the USA?
Well, it's the states, because they gave up some of their sovereignty to create the federal government. So if you go back and check the sovereignty of the emperor and of the treaties and all that, okay, you go back to Georgia saying 17 what? What did they say? 28. Okay, so you see, so that they were getting that permission from who? England, because they had just won the Battle of Quebec. Everybody missed that was the war, and then they moved on down south where the Watchtower was. You see, so as they were moving in, Morocco was going out because the emperor couldn't keep up the ships and losing ships. And that's why they say you got when Morocco controlled the waves. You feel me? You know, so so under that status, you have the 9 states that was established through that England interference, and the emperor, whatever contract they had, that's under 6 stories below, we'll leave it at that one, all right? But Georgia and all them, they created the Constitution because of the 100 million in gold. They was attempting to steal it because Morocco was on his way out. So France and Spain made them put it under or attach it to a document, which you call a constitution. Okay, so under that constitution, that's for the United Constitution for the United Small U States of America. Okay, so that was signed in 17 September 1787 because it had equity, and that equity was 100 million in gold that the emperor allotted to the revolutionaries, they call, to fight the Revolutionary War, 1774. So now you think they got the American Continental Army or the Continental Navy and the Continental Marines. How they get funded? That was from that 100 million. So the whole military of the United States was created from the 100 million that the emperor allotted to the revolutionary to fight the Revolutionary War. Now y'all know that story now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that equity under that Constitution still exists. So when Benjamin Franklin came out of the Continental Congress and said, we have a republic if we can keep it, because they have successfully took over the Grand Vizier chair of the emperor and created what? Office of the president. But they had to do how they had to operate that treaty. They had to operate treaty in good faith performance, common obligations, and treaties. Same thing the Pope said, or Pope Francis said in the Civil Order. You feel me? That he wrote when Obama was sitting in the seat to explain this whole contract we're talking about right here on another level for those that's in the judicial and the bar and all them, so they can get clear understanding that what they perceived at one time as the United States to have all this authority, these are some of the facts of where that authority came from. And now that this young man then stepped back on the scene to claim that seat, I have to surrender my authority over that seat back to him or them. That's part of that good faith performance, a common obligation, and treaties mean. You feel me? So that's why he wrote the motto proprio, because you came and got the seat with the Imperial Constitution that I sent to him, or sent to the Vatican, the Queen, or de facto Queen of England, and the Pentagon, all them, and 213. That had to sit a year. So once it said a year, that's when you seen Obama show up at the Vatican, and you seen the Queen of de facto Queen Elizabeth show up. The 4 April when I signed it, April 3rd, a year later, on both days, where I signed the Declaration of Mellon. Then when Obama signed, showed up out of the clear blue, and that was confirmation that my Constitution, our Constitution now, is the baddest Constitution on the planet. So I was walking hard, I was walking small with a big stick behind the scene, if you understand what I mean, right? So when Georgia gave us full faith and credit, they authenticated my signature. Remember, I'm nationalized as Chief Maku Thunderfire under a sovereign state, United Washington Dundamania, that's have a empire, land, treaty. So y'all starting to get drift now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, oh yes, that's indeed.
All right. So when Georgia authenticated the contract, it authenticated us, me, and all the families that signed it. But my status was different than everybody else. See, they were just secure parties with that UCC stuff out there on the market. No, I was nationalized as chief, my coup of a sovereign state, and nationalized my own state against the government. But I'm chief, my coup of a foreign state that has treaty rights, that's recognized in the whole world. That's the oldest indigenous a top 10 nation on earth. I'm nationalized under that. A chief. Y'all started seeing when I said the post office knew about me in 04. They were just watching me see how I was gonna grow into it. So y'all see it now, right? All right, so that's why the state that's why the state has more authority than the United States, because the 9 states came together to create what? The federal government. Then they started creating other states, you see, invisible lines, because they wanted certain rules. They can do certain things. That's why you got different federal jurisdictions now. You got all these different courthouses, because that's all the separation and all these new states was stepping away from the original. You know, where actually original 9, I think it was 5 first, but the original 9 that's on the flag, that got the flag done. All right, step away from all that, you see all these different constitutions, and you got different jurisdictions in the federal government, and now you see why. And all of them, you know, you see how it all works out now, don't you? So, on somebody else's authority, create the Bureau of Indian Affairs, saying Native American or Indians, that's all Washington land. So you got them Chickasaws and all that claim. No, that's Washington land. They got a BIA on it, that's Bureau of Indian Affairs. They dock under a corporation of Bureau of Indian Affairs. That don't make them, that they take their sovereignty or indigenous away from the land. Y'all didn't figure that out yet?
Yes, we have.
They able to do what now? Go create a casino now. Okay, well, they give up their indigenous rights, or they had any, but they don't, to create a casino. You feel me? Why would you use your land to create the casino? Why you got to go through the BIA? That makes, if you own the land. That makes sense to everybody?
Yeah, it makes sense. So by registering under the BIA, do they give up their rights there?
How can you be in 2 places at one time? So either you own the land or you don't.
Yeah.
Make sense to you now?
That makes sense.
Everybody good on that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Hector,
Oh yeah.
we have the reader Horror coming up to read.
Okay. Hold on, man. So that's the Georgia on the right. Okay. So you see my seal on the end, vouching for my family, who I am. And that's why you see me sign over my seal in red, because I own it and I own that document. And you see, so that's why you see it roll like that on proof. So, and then on the left here, you can go ahead and bring Hard. We said that a while ago. He was coming in. That's a banner, one of our banners. And so I set this out March 18 March 2022, based on a threat from a former official of the government. And there was a chief at one time, a custodian of the government, who docked himself as a clan chief under the under the IRS, and they had no more attachment to the government except through an IRS. But the government we established was a sovereign state. So if you know how to run a state or run government, you won't have to go over there and get an IRS number. You will create one for your own state. You starting to get me now? By him doing, you see how you separate yourself, because they don't understand contract law. You can't be on 2 sides well, you ain't got really do nothing but read conflict and diplomatic relations. You feel me? And if you look at conflict and diplomatic relations, it tell you if you working for a state, you can't work in another state. Simple shit, right? That makes sense to you?
Yeah, that's real simple.
Yeah, makes sense. Absolutely.
So you see all that stuff was going around in the early 2000s, all these Moors claim to be deep and heavy, and you go back and look at it now, it's like like a waste of time, waste of energy. Everybody trying to get outside the system, and nobody knows which way to go. So it's like everybody running crazy. Oh, this person can do it this way. We was able to come in and completely separate ourselves as foreign nationals in our own country. That ain't never been heard of before. That's on the bar side in America. On the government side at the Vatican, they said we was American state citizens. And the only way you can be an American state citizen, you had to attach yourself back to the contract, the Constitution for because that's treaty. So that's what I did. That's what we was able to do. So that military takeover they did in 1871 is a smokescreen because I went back before them. That's what the Pope meant in the Civil Order when he said the last Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. So whether you like Obama or Trump, Biden, all them that's up there now, don't mean nothing. Because the last Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. Everything after that is outside of that contract with the treaty. It's a military takeover contract. That's where you get a yellow French flag from. Every court you go in, you got a yellow French flag. That's military. When you see Biden running and you see them on the cars, what y'all see? Yellow French flag. That's military. So where the sovereignty in America, United States at? Only where you see it is on where? U.S. Air Force One. Y'all didn't hear me there.
Yeah, Air Force One.
Where's it at on Air Force One?
You see that? You don't see that flag with yellow fringes around it.
Never paid attention.
Wow.
Never paid attention to that. Yeah.
He considered a diplomat for what? United States of America. You didn't hear me there. Y'all gonna be all right.
Yeah,
we
love it.
Huge.
So that's how powerful that.
Diplomat, Emperor?
Huh?
Who is considered a diplomat? I apologize for interrupting you.
What you mean who considered a diplomat?
You said Air Force. You mentioned something about Air Force One, and you said
no. I said he's on that title. That title is that he's the top diplomat on that plane for America, United States of America.
Who are you speaking of? The president?
President Biden. Wait, who else ride Air Force One?
Yeah.
Okay. I yield.
I don't know nobody else ride Air Force One unless he invite them on.
Right.
But ain't nobody got control of Air Force One but officer of the president and the Secret Service. You feel me? So that's the top diplomat of America. It's kind of wild how they got to see how that democracy work. Because in one breath, the plane shows you the top diplomat, and then the seal or the highest seal in America is the Secretary of State seal. Interesting how it worked, right? And he don't ride it Air Force One. He had a smaller jet that he ride on, but he got the most important seal. Interesting, right?
Right. I'm looking at him as de facto. That's why I was like, when I heard him, I was like, who was you talking about?
Oh, all of them to fight though. What do you mean? All of them. What you mean? What you mean to fight? You looking at him as the fight though? What show me one of them that's not?
Yeah, all of them. That's why I was like him. When I heard you say diplomat,
he's still a diplomat on the world scene. I mean, whether you know the truth of all this stuff on our state and who we are, that's fine. You growing, you learning. Okay. But on the international arena, they got contracts with all these different countries. And doing the, UN and all that back in the 40s and all that stuff, when they was literally on the scene as a sovereign state because they had what? They had control of the gold. That's what the UN said when Miller went back and attempted to copy claim the 48 Star Flag once they recommissioned the 48 Star Flag on 26 June 2005. When they attempted to recommission the flag during that year, because we had that flag on our paperwork going up in district court. So, but the Chief Black Eagle was recognized was on the scene as head of state. So they brought it in on his Earth Day. So that y'all don't even know that. So y'all think it's on my banner? You think I'm playing games? No, that 48 Star flag is recommissioned for real. This ain't no joke. Everything I'm like, this ain't no Mickey Mouse show, or they call Banana Republic that the United States is. No, that 48 Star flag is live and active right now. So the 50, you see the 50 Star flag over here, that's contract, full faith and credit contract. So you see, so that jurisdiction and you see Georgia ain't got no yellow fringe around it because you're going through the sovereignty of the state. Because on that flag above the Capitol, you don't see no yellow fringe flag, do you?
Oh.
When you go to court, you see the regular flags outside, but when you go through that banner or that scale, they see you what you see. You see a yellow friend flag, don't you? You see all the cops got yellow friend flags, don't they? Around that flag? Or they let you know they're military.
Yep. Right.
They're not under the Constitution of the United States. That's military flag. I mean, I was in the military, so it's like when I was in that court case with the post office. We had an issue on the first day because we got a jurisdiction issue. And people thought it was, oh no, my jurisdiction issue was how can you talk to me? Am I getting court-martial here? You feel me? You starting to get me? Because I'm like, I got honor for this charge. So if I'm getting court-martial here, because that's a military flag up there, I get echo. You know what I'm saying? And she looked at me, the judge, and be like, huh? Looked at the sheriff like, what is he talking about? Like, duh, that's a military flag. So what jurisdiction are you claiming here? And they called recess. We came in court next day. They didn't have no flags in there. You starting to get me? That's why I said, so what jurisdiction we got now?
Right.
Because see, you got to realize they ain't never seen no one coming in court that literally had it. Remember I told you the question they asked me, right? You know what I'm saying? What they say? You know, can you show proof that the United States recognize your state as a sovereign state? What I say? Yeah. And I gave them a copy of it, right? And what they do? The whole courtroom cleared out.
That's right.
That's when I told you, because we knew I was still number one. The Klan over there didn't want to hear it because they want to control that money, that free offer that was coming in with the, you know, like that stuff going on with the Wabian. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted all the Yorkite crew to come and follow him. That's all that was. We were like, man, forget that crap. You know, they told us if Georgia got a bank, we supposed to have our own bank. If Georgia got a court, we got to have our own court. If Georgia got a bank, we got to have our own bank. So what the hell we keep going over there asking for account for when they already gave you authority to create your own damn bank? Y'all didn't hear me, did you?
Right.
And then we got authenticated in the State Department, okay? And then what the United States say, we agree. And not only do they have authority to create their own bank, their court, whatever they need to run their government, we give them jurisdiction wherever the United States is. They can do it anywhere we at. Y'all didn't catch that part, did you?
That was a beautiful chess move.
Oh, yeah, I got that part. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep telling y'all what you waiting on. They're waiting on you. They already gave you full faith and credit. Why you keep begging? Go write you some bill. I'm sorry. You know me.
You're right.
That N word lady came out, you know, I'm like, all right, you know, they get, you know, you get sensitive when I go there, right? I was like, you know, you act like N's, you know what I'm saying? You told us that's what you were going to do. Now you want to come back and pat you on the back and could you finally go do it? Come on, y'all. You see them Moors like that slanging paperwork in court every day. You see them Christians like that slanging paperwork in court every day, claiming they got some status they ain't never heard of. And you got our own state. The only thing you got to do is come run it. Whatever. You like a bully. No, man. You come at everybody so hard. Like, they're scared to talk. I'm like, what you mean? You got a state to run. And you come to me like I'm bullying. I ain't no bully. It just I ain't got time for the BS. If you go say what you gonna do it. Do what you gonna say. If you gotta bring an excuse every time you don't do what you gonna say, then they trying to make me out a bully. No, I gotta run a ship. And if you say you got a job done, I shouldn't have to get an excuse why it ain't done when you said it's gonna be done. Make sense?
What we need.
Makes sense.
So that's when you gotta grow into what? Authority. so you can move with authority. Because that's what you got in your own state. You got authority to act as a citizen over there. And you try to stretch that beyond it's supposed to go. You feel me? Or somewhere you get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because they only gave you a certain way to go with that ID they gave you. You feel me? If you're a good Christian, you're going to pay attention. If you're a good Muslim, you're going to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get 15, 20% renegade, but they got 80% following the law that they created, or the penal code that they created for their what? Their citizens. And some of them do a good life, long they pay attention and kiss ass all their life. You feel me? My bad. You know, I slipped that one in, right? Because they create cults and cliques, and it holds you back from development because they always put somebody over you. Whether you know, look at the ratio now on this madness out here with this credit system, right? That you find out about that. You got these companies out here on these corporations, and they can hire 1,000 employees, but 100 of them can be black. Come on, y'all still dealing with that crap? Then you got to go get a lower job because they got 800 Caucasians, 100 black, and then they got another 100 Asian or Chinese or whatever, so they can meet the quota, so the state don't come out there for discrimination. You see, and you don't look at the rules. You think you got a good job? Mom, I got a good job. You just one of them damn niggas for 100 that they got in there. All right. it ain't that you special. All right. You just made a lottery cut. You know what I mean? And you allow that because you gave them the privilege to operate your privilege over you. That's how you get treated, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all all right? Y'all know we get going, right? See, we on June, right? All right, so we say here on the 21st. So we on okay. This 21st right here. Okay, that was most appropriate. No, that was what was that? Oh, 21st June. Oh yeah, that was a royal press release. All right, you got most appropriate there. On 21st, that was 18 months. When I say what ago. Well, the one out here on 21st, that's the one with the rebel flag banner on it. So that should be up there. So that banner, and everybody question that banner. I actually YouTube kind of want to shut two of our videos down because that banner shook up everybody, you know. shook up Twitter. Shook everybody up.
Okay.
You know. Come on, you got a normal emperor stepping on the scene, and he just snatched the rebel flag. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a damn about no racism, black, oh no, he just snatch it. And they're like, why?
No.
Why you do that? Because I represent 100 million in gold, and that flag represents 100 million in gold. So I'm not an African American. I ain't racist. You feel me? I'm just real. Okay? So I ain't letting nothing stop me from collecting on my 800 million in gold, all right? So you can run around here and shout and say racist, whatever. Well, have at it. You know what I'm saying? Because the contract they sign on to is a de facto corporation. So they ain't really supposed to be speaking no way. That's why I don't hear half shit they say, because they ain't supposed. They like Mr. A, remember the horse? You sign the contract not to speak. So why the fuck you keep speaking? You got everybody out here rapping, singing, all that shit. They got the contract. They got to say no speak. See what I'm saying? You hear Donald Trump out there saying all this shit, right? When that nigga go to court, he don't see him say a word, do you? See? Because he signed a contract, no speak. De facto, attorney. Attorney can talk for you now. You feel me? He can't even speak. And he said he'll roar. He gonna walk down New York and kill somebody. They won't touch him. He got the same status every one of y'all got. He walked into court and pleaded not guilty. Controversy to the court. So the contract you said signed, you always guilty. It's a corporation fiction. How can it be not guilty when they don't have no blood in it? Uh-oh.
That there.
Wow. Y'all ready? Y'all okay?
Oh yeah, we good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's why I put my flag out. Because I copy claimed it. You didn't hear me, did you? Only a true sovereign can copy claim a flag. Come on, man. They had to come to your court to prove that they got permission to fly that flag now as you keep opening your court. You feel me? I told y'all to go read flag law, Article 4, okay?
Empire, sorry, it's Nasuru. I just wanted to ask a quick question about what's the relevance? You say only a sovereign can copyright a flag.
Copy claim.
How copy claim? Yeah.
That's
How do you do that?
That's a difference.
Yeah,
that's you missed the word. You gotta get the word straight first, okay? See,
copy claim. Okay.
Yeah. See, because under a corporation, they allow you to copyright. Yes. Under the Postal Service, they allow you to register. Okay. A sovereign can copy claim.
As in claim what they're
copy claim. You got superior claim over the copy that you copy claiming. Come on.
So
you feel me? So when we came through truth language with quantum mathematics and language, you know what I'm saying? You become that's attaching yourself back to the land because you did a blood oath, you know, with your fingerprint on the claim for the life or claim to life. Okay, then you put your red print, you know, and your blood. That's attaching you to the land through paper based on the way you signed over the stamp because the stamp had gold on it, and you signed over the red a certain way, 45 degrees supposed to be. You see, so or straight across. Some say to close that contract out. Okay, so you got to understand that law, and you got so because you become a postmaster, be able to haul that mail, so you keep that mail on you all the time. You feel me? So you got to travel with it until you got your own court, which David Miller was never able to create the quantum court. They shut him down for that because the so-called royals of the world didn't have no royalty. You know what I'm saying? Because they done made all sovereign gold, silver. They got United States of America on it. That's verb. That's not money is sovereign. You got 1792 Coinage Act or the Constitution. Coins, silver and gold. You feel me? So when you put United States of America, you just messed up because you got of America on it. That's fiction. So they knew that. So if you had a quantum court, where you can bring all these countries to court and these so-called royals to that quantum court and dissolve them of their so-called sovereignty. That's why you see why the real reason they shut their windmill down.
Yeah.
That messed everybody over there on that. But some say I wasn't in this class, so I let you know. I verified it, you feel me? Because he was my witness in the court case against the post office on the quantum language. So he wouldn't have been my witness. I ain't know what the hell I was saying, right?
Yeah.
That messed the court up too. That messed the court up too. They were like, "Yo, he's his witness." So they were rolling with us. You feel me? David the one who told us, like, listen, he the one who told us really in 05 that we about to stay. Because they didn't know, no, we were so far gone. They just found out about this stuff in 17, 18. Okay, so David was the first one in 05 when he called us about the flag. He got summons. He got summons to all the families over England. Okay, and then he got summons to the board of governors in America. And that's when he called us. And he said, Khufu is the only one who probably can run that contract. See, you drop a pin on the floor at the board of governors, the post office. You say Khufu, now you hear pin hit the floor because he got a seat at the board of governors because of the contract that we established, and they're in violation of what? Violating a sovereign. See, they thought they were violating one of their employees. Then they found out the employee was a sovereign of his own damn country. And they sent 200 managers down to Atlanta to try to figure this mess out. You feel me? For real. They sent 200 managers down there trying to figure me out. They were like, who is this boy? Because I done stepped in the post office employee, then I done flip switch on to the point where like, well, he's coming out now it's the emperor versus the postmaster. Before it was the citizen versus the postmaster. They don't watch me grow that far. You feel me?
Yeah.
And they said it. And they said back in the day it would take 10 to 20 years for you to finish this. And you see it took exactly 20 years in it. So you got 99% now of African Americans out there who went here and got paid through the EOC and carried their black ass back to work to be that good nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. See, I said I would never go back through them doors because if I was a nigga once, you gonna treat me worse as a nigga twice, second time. You feel me? Yeah. So I got a standing contract with you in my state. So I think I stay on that one. You feel me?
Yes.
So that's when all that happened when he found out to go over to the they went Miller to go over to the Geneva to try to copy claim the 48 star flag the way he copy claimed the 50 star flag. And that's when the head answered him and said that only the Moor can copy claim that flag because that flag is due a debt owed by the United States to the Moor. You feel me? And so until they pay that debt, they can never enter the international arena. So now you know why the United States is not in the international arena because they got a debt they got to pay to the Moor, me. You feel me? Or my family now. That makes sense to you now?
Yeah, it does.
And now you send an appointment up there saying what? Now it's time to what? Close the books, right? Balance the books out, right? So you finally grew into your position and now you got everything you need to do what? To close all them settlements out. That they agreed to, right?
Okay.
What you got? You ready? You rolling today, huh? You like this one, don't you?
Okay, we have another hand in the queue.
Thank you.
I'd like to repeat again that if you have a question, please raise your hand inside the queue. If you have a question.
All right, so okay, that's fine. We good. We rolling. He vibing. We good. So 21. You good. We rolling because you came right off. So I'm flowing with you. You vibing with me. You feel me? So you get that vibe on. You good. So you got on 21st. That's the press release. Okay, you know why I wrote that? Because that was the document right here. Okay, Royal Public Notice and Royal Press Release to the world. Signed at the Magical Park. It was at this park in Greensboro, North Carolina. They got a magic chair. It works when I sit in it, put it that way. And then we had a green orb appear over that park and in Alabama at the same time. Okay, and 0 point reference, north reference point. You see what I'm saying? So you guys, people don't know about 0 point reference. So I don't know why they slipped this one in here. But anyway, when you get a 0 point reference, you are in tune with all the pyramids in the world, all the ancient structures, the grid line. When you find a 0 point reference where you are in tune with all that grid around the world. Okay. So since they brought that up. All right. So but on this public notice and press release to the world, that came to my attention that this sister out of Charlotte, the fight those Empress girl, who I know since she stepped on the scene. I just never, paid her no attention because I knew she was full of crap. But she had attempted to steal the royal crown on her and started putting it on her paperwork and then to have some of her graphics, whoever believed in that crap she was doing, they came in and tried to change the seal to put her name around it and with my crown on it. And then try to get out there and go get she getting money made in Africa and all that crap. So when it came to my attention, see, that's when I had to put the public notice out, press release. Because it wasn't just her. It was the Moorish Americans. It was the Moor Science Temple. It was all these cats out here claiming some flag jurisdiction on that red and green flag, the Moor flag. That's all under me since 2004. That's when I attached myself to the treaty. So that's why Morocco ain't over here doing nothing, because they know it's under me. And and they ain't got no status in Morocco anyway, so they can't go to the transfer court in DC. You see what I'm saying? So they all fraud. So the courts can't deal with them because they agreed to an all fiction contract, the birthright contract. So they go into court and try to argue some more status and sue the judge and put liens on them and all that. And they don't understand. Listen, if they claim what they got, they ain't supposed to leave the Solicitor General's office. Because at the Solicitor General's office, they will contact their consular office, you know what I'm saying, so they can clear that matter up, because no state want to sit in the seat of another state. Start to see it. But they go in and put on YouTube, they stand up in court, feds is on, slinging all this damn paperwork. There ain't no contract for the state to agree to, because they don't agree to the birthright contract. That's why they look at these cats like they're crazy. That's why they call them sovereign citizens, because they don't understand contract at all. Six goes, you say you got a consulate office, we should be talking to your officials if they recognize. You feel me? So they ain't recognized. They got all these titles out here, judges and sheiks and all that bullshit. But it only work on Facebook. It don't work nowhere in the international arena. You feel me? That makes sense to you?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Makes sense.
What else y'all got for me? Since I'm a bully. Come on.
Have another hand from Brother Nasuru Kojo Nemare Nehes Ak in the Moon. You got the floor.
Yes, Protector, could you please expand on the 0.2 reference?
Well, that's a ley line around the world. And you'll find them throughout if you journey like me, and you'll find 0 point reference. Okay. You can have your phone on, you know. And then if you find one with a river flowing north and you find a 0 point reference, well, you tied into everything. So, and then if you look at that lake or that river or that stream or whatever, and it's a curvy one, like a serpent, well, that's showing you how much magic is in that. That's showing you how that's showing you all the magic that's in that park or wherever you at. You feel me? In the trees and you gotta look at all that. But when you find one like that, it's a gift. That's where that church sits. But you know, in that area, that's why we look at it as a magical park, because it has it fits all the characteristics to be a magical park. You feel me?
Yeah. Okay.
It ain't got just one. It ain't got just one 0 point reference. You got like maybe 7, 8 of them in there. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Okay.
So that's more than 0 point reference. You got them all over the world. If you got all that stuff in Scotland, all them councils and all that kind of stuff where they built back in the day, them boys ain't no joke. They built on 0 point reference so they can get the ley line energy. You feel me? So you gotta look at the world. It's shifted, and people that knew science way back then and building on the areas where you find these little cracks and you find these immaculate energy around these 0 reference. And then you got your ley lines, and you got a river flowing north. Come on, man. You know, so you know.
Well, thank you, bro.
You good?
Thank you. Yeah, I am. Thank you.
What else we got? Who else?
All
right, so that's why I put that press release. My bad. That's why I put that press release out, y'all. So it wasn't, you know, you had this guy up in Virginia who tried to sabotage the government back in 07. And 07, 08, we first came out and I gave him an assignment to go up to the UN. He tried to use that assignment and, you know, his way to get some kind of authority, and he ended up getting an IPO number. I never accepted over here. So he ended up taking it out of that dumb boy over there in Fayetteville. But at the fight, though, crap over in Fayetteville, he running. And so all of them got to that now, since I did the appointment, so now they got to, now it's what you call rooster come on the hatch. So now they got to verify that shit. You feel me? See, he got to verify that he a prince or the watchstar. All that stuff got to be verified. Because you went up to the UN on the world scene and you put it on paper. You feel me?
Yeah.
See how stupid they were? Oh, he is. That's why I just sat back in the day like, I hope they know they got a vouch for that crap. You feel me? But the only thing they were doing is trying to do what? What they say back then. We just trying to save our people. In reality, they was only trying to save their paycheck. You feel me? Because they didn't have nothing to offer the people. The only thing they did offer them fake IDs and fake paperwork. They got to try to run that fake ID, fake paperwork, and found out the hard way. You feel me? You know, and so it's madness in America. I don't know about England over there where y'all at, but you know, y'all set it a certain rules because y'all consider subjects over there. So y'all subjects, so they don't allow you access to what they want you to, you know, to know. So you ain't got this type of access that the American citizen got. African, you know, stateside citizen over in America got, like UCC and all that stuff. And then go down to the courthouse and look at all that stuff. You can't do it over in England because y'all subjects over there. You feel me? Y'all got a monarchy, totally different venue. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense?
Absolutely.
So you know you got some funk when you able to go across the pond and create nationality for the damn world. You feel me? So you know you got some funk just by doing that, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So what else we got? Where we at?
Okay, bro. I'll be
slide 25 with hard reading.
We'll be continuing with the reading. Salam alaikum magic. I am Hajj Sobeki Bray. I'll be continuing with the reading of the Imperial and Imperial Royal Annals for the ECMYE-IRK, June 2022. On the 14th, just to recap, the first supermoon of the year called the quote strawberry moon and quote rose moon in quotes and honeymoon in quotes are classified when the moon is at 360,000 kilometers or less from Earth in its orbital path. On the 15th, date set for Christian church to be raptured, as the Emperor just mentioned. No rapture occurred, in parentheses. On 20th, constructive agreement, in parentheses 5604B, signed by Yamasee Native American government via Mount Arafat Embassy and the state of Georgia, granting full faith and credit on 20 June 2003, 19-year anniversary. 21 of June, Royal Public Notice and Royal Press Release to the world, signing at a magical park, or cap H.E.M. His Imperial Majesty sighted two green orbs appearing 500 miles apart over Greensboro, North Carolina, and Summerton, Alabama, simultaneously at 0 north reference points. Next slide, please. June 22 continues. On the 21st, summer solstice was one on the record books, featuring one climate catastrophe after another, sweltering weather, exceptionally intense wildfires, and cataclysmic floods. On the 23rd, thousands of healers/witches were convicted of witchcraft and were executed in Scotland between 1563 and 1736. I can't see it. That 1736. A pardon and an apology was made on 8 March 2022, 1736. Thank you so much, bro. On the 25th, start of birthing pains for all cap H.E.M. is the Imperial Majesty, and didn't sign for declaration of service and signed on the next month. On the 25th again, surprise solar storm hit Earth just before midnight UTC time on June 25 and continued throughout most of June 26. On the 26th, Chief Space Black Eagle, quote, Thunderbird, end quote, solar return day celebration, peace be with him, in Prince, 77 years young. On the 28th, new moon, 3 p.m. EST, the moon goes dark in the sign of the crab, offering a lunation to cleanse and ground oneself into the start of summer. On the 30th of June, 153 million immortal fire deities. Are there any questions related to this slide? Any questions? Emperor, can you?
Yes, it's a question. What do you mean 1,000 of healers, witches were convicted of witchcraft and were executed in Scotland? What do you mean? Were pardoned and an apology was made on 8 March 2022.
Correct.
Oh, wait, go ahead. You want that car? Come on, Imperial Miss.
I thought you were unavailable. So, yes, Salam Alaikum Magic. In regards to the 1,000 of healers slash witches were convicted of witchcraft and were executed in Scotland between 1563. And an apology was made on 8 March 2022. So we do have a copy of the apostolic letter pardon that was granted. So after their death. So they convicted 1,000 healers and witches over a period of time, and mainly in Scotland. And why that's significant, because after the gates of hell were open, there was a unprecedented thunderstorm, tornado that hit Scotland. And so in March following that, they pardoned the witches. So there's no coincidence there, right?
I never looked at it that way, though. I like the way you said that, because, it's like, it's like that was a convincing move that somewhere in their books, or, how they write stuff and hide it from the public, that event that happened the night, when that storm, it was called Melek, remember?
Mallet, right.
Malek, right. And then that was a biblical sign. And then that tail end, it came out of nowhere on the same night that when I was in that zone, and the master, when the master appeared, and then we find out that stuff not weeks later, you feel me, from different people that I got logged in on my YouTube that I listen to, and he getting that stuff set to, I think with MB333, that he had people over in Scotland sending him all the stuff that was going on in Scotland. They don't know nothing. They don't know us at all. They probably never heard of us, but they giving us all these stuff that we know we did during that time, and we seeing all this stuff happen. And we go look it up, and we see the storm. I told them the wind flying, and they say it was 147 mile an hour wind, unprecedented during that time of year, never having for the history of recording weather. And that type of stuff don't happen in late September like now, but up during that time, January, no. And then all the lightning, all the fire beings coming up. You think they didn't see all that? They seen it all. So when you said the way they came in and wrote this pardon, you know what I'm saying? Remember, 28 January, right? 28 February, right? 28 March. So international law, they did it within 45 days. You start to get me? So you got to look at all that energy showing the authority that you had 2000 January 28 when I did it, that you had already on the scene, that some of y'all was in the world but didn't fully understand. But you already you was out there on the world scene of that for them to come part like they did. So Atum, when you was like, what you mean by that? Was that was a Salem witch trial they were talking about. That was pardon the witches from. My great grandmother that was burned at the stake by King James, your Bible holder. Same Bible you say is holy, King James, well, he's on record as killing my grandma because claiming witchcraft. But he tried to steal it. That's why they want it. You can't get rid of it. It exists outside of your norm. You vibrating on a spirit level. They vibrating on a soul level, totally different beings. So for them to have that royal seat as a royal family, they needed that magic that my family owned. That's why he did everything. So I was able to come and break that spell that they did to lock that energy up because they couldn't get it. So if they couldn't have it, they couldn't have it exist on the land. Why? Because they couldn't have no rule. So after 430 years, I came and broke it. That's what happened on 28 January 2022. And you seen them come in pardon the witches 8 March 2022. And you notice it says 8 March. It don't say 7 March, 6 March, 9 March. It says 8 March, because I'm the 8th Marquis. Y'all missed that part, didn't you? But come on.
Yeah.
It ain't something in Parliament they had to wait. No, they decided on that day for a reason, all right?
Indeed.
All right. So that answer your question, Atum?
Gratitude. Yes, I did. Protect.
All right. What else we got?
Okay, so to the right we have a depiction of the witch, and in quotes we have from an article from the paper. In quotes, it said over 400 years after the fact, Scotland is finally apologizing to the thousands of people that were accused of witchcraft and executed under the country's Witchcraft Act. Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, made the announcement on International Women's Day, describing it as an egregious historic injustice, in quotes, in the form of posthumous apology, similar to the way that the Salem witch trials resulted in dozens of false accusations. The Scotland Witchcraft Act made the practice of witchcraft or associating with witches a capital level offense and was responsible for the deaths of an estimated 4,000 people, most of whom were women, from 1563 to 1736, end quote. That's from the paper. Next slide.
And remember now, remember how, okay? You know, I like how you so back, but you remember now, they killed the witches if you had a birthmark. You got a birthmark. We all got birthmarks.
That's right.
So you got to look at the mindset of these people who they say wrote the Bible. King James Version. This is the mindset of these people, that they felt that if you had a birthmark, you had a mark of the devil. That's why they killed these women. That's what I'm saying. They they scraped your body and they found the mark. That was your birthmark. They said you was a devil worshiper and burnt you at the stake. So they told you 4,000. You laugh at that, right? That's just one. That's probably the 4,000 they documented. How about the ones they didn't document? You feel me?
Yeah.
So you see how bad it was, and you see the male chauvinist mindset that was going on in them day and time, and they still want to take that literature and bring it into 2023, because he wrote that book. He signed it, autographed it, 1611. And look at the mindset of the people you talking about that wrote that book, and it still got the mind in 2023. 400 some years, right? Sad, ain't it? So I came and did what I did. Came and got my damn. That's why I said I got a seat. Not only I got an appointment, I got a damn seat I'm coming to. It's my damn seat. Since I own it, I got to come back to it. I ain't never guaranteed everybody gonna be there on the ship when I get there. Or everybody gonna be on this planet. That's your own choosing. But they told you certain things that this day and time are gonna happen. And if you paying attention, you will make it. If you're not paying attention, well, we got a digify hell for you. So we don't really see you. You don't mean nothing to me. We were talking today about funerals and stuff. I told my brother, I said, people won't come to a funeral see if you're dead and make sure they can charge your family for whatever money you owe them. And you know what I'm saying? Because you don't take nothing with you. Your story ended. So you can have a Bentley of 10 million houses or whatever. Don't mean nothing. You feel me? So that's why I say, look at this madness that's going on in this world. You feel me? All right, come on, where you at? Next one.
Next slide, please.
All right. Since you got the light, I'm in the back. So you want me, if everybody see my light, I'll cut it on, but we all right. Come on.
Okay, following month, July 2022. On the 4th, Benjamin Franklin wrote in 1775, quote, a declaration, end quote.
Well, y'all got to update that, okay? Remember, he wrote it for him, 4 July 1775.
Okay.
Okay. See what I'm saying?
On the
And 4 July 1776. Remember, it said a year, didn't it? Did it say a year? You see the magic behind it, right?
Oh, yeah.
1775. He created a declaration, right? What did he create from that declaration? He created jurisdiction of the post office. Judicial administration of the post office. Then they did what? They started a Revolutionary War to hide it. And then they did what? A year later, they came in and said what? Declaration of Independence from England. Y'all didn't catch that, did you?
So slick.
And they thought they played poker, right?
Back to back, yeah.
You started to get it now?
Yeah.
All right.
13th, super full moon. On the 15th, city of Philadelphia, the Moroccan flag was raised in front of City Hall in an official ceremony in 2019, 3-year anniversary of diplomatic recognition as Moroccan national Americans.
Well, that's to shut up the so-called Moor Science Temple and the Moorish Americans who claim that that day was set for Drew Ali, that he established the temple a couple weeks later, but they're gonna look at it as that day because that's when they raised the flag. And that just sounds so ignorant. You feel me? If they were recognizing Moor Science Temple, Drew Ali opened up a temple in Philadelphia, it would have been on the paperwork. And they wouldn't have did it on the night, what happened to the page? It wouldn't did it on the 15th. They would have did it on the day that he signed it. Because it's registered at City Hall. You feel me? So to eliminate that myth as if they was representing them when he raised the flag. No, it was representing the sovereign state. It was a flag treaty law. Flag law. So he was, because you remember, a state can't sit in the city of another state, right? Okay, a country can't sit in the city of another country also. So under the treaty with the United States, they can't come over here and operate judicial administration under the United States. But he can send a treaty, he can send a trip signal. You feel me? And that's what King Muhammad VI sent without get permission from the President of the United States, without get permission from the City Hall, the Mayor of City Hall, or the Secretary of State, without getting permission to anything. Anybody. Sit it to the mayor and tell him what will happen. And if you read that proclamation, okay, it says what? Moroccan - Americans. Everybody missed that. But that's how people look. Because we say they just left the normal part out because we ain't really finalized that part up to there, but we was American state citizens / Moroccan - Americans. All right. Because they got Moroccan Americans living in Virginia Beach, Tampa, Arizona, Nevada, California, that got consulate privileges if they have any issue dealing with American politics. Okay. So they weren't talking to their own citizens. So they had to distinguish when they said Moroccan - American. Then they said what? They wasn't there, nor the diplomats from the embassy in DC was there. So why were the Moor science people there chopping around in front of the City Hall talking about the Moors, the Moors, the Moors, the Moors? You feel me? Just looking crazy.
Mm.
And you ain't seen nothing happen to them since then. Because they went for them. It was just they had somebody working down at City Hall, found out about the proclamation getting ready to happen, notified the temple. They put together something real quick to come down there and try to represent the flag being raised at City Hall. You starting to get me?
Yes, sir, bro. Yeah.
So that's to get rid of all that craziness. Because I told him and the Pope and everybody else in June 14th on an Imperial Royal order, revised world order, matter of fact, that I would be emerging the republic, a republic state, a republican state, a republic state in 30 days. Well, if you go count the date from 14 June, is because you can't count the date you mail it, right? Or you signed it, put it that way. That's 30 days, 15th of July, when he raised the red flag. Verifying what? You on a treaty law, you can dock your what? Your state. And you see me been moving ever since, right? To that mission that some thought was easy to accomplish. But you see now, you got to know how to run a state. It ain't no joke, right?
No joke at all.
No joke at all.
That's right.
Because now you finally understand what nationality really mean, right?
That's right. Ain't the people.
If you ain't got no venue, what you need a nationality for then? If you got a venue, that make you got a constitution, that make you got equity, right?
Yes.
Well,
That's right.
you ain't got no equity on your constitution, why give you the right to nationalize anybody? You can only have what? Citizen, because you yourself is a citizen. You ain't stepped outside that zone to get nationalize somebody as a sovereign or national. Come on. You got to have that status before you get anybody else. You trying to say that boy from Philadelphia got that status? Why the great seal Moor still out there, national people, the most American? Who has that status to get them that status nationalized? See? They ain't got no status. So that paperwork is fraud on face. Ain't got no standing. Same thing that Florida State Trooper said. What did he say? Your paperwork had no standing. I told y'all, I said, wait, they gonna travel down the road that crap, and you're gonna see these states starting to do what? Step up their game, and what they tell that boy? Tell them, they ain't got no standing. That's when they put you in jail, lock the key, or you ain't got no bond. Because you ain't got no attorney to come and get you because you done separate yourself from the contract that you created with the birth certificate, and you want to expatriate. Well, you do some stuff to get to sit down. Well, you might be sitting for a while. Those who know, right?
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. So we straighten that out.
Yes, Emperor.
Yes, Emperor.
Very much so. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Continuation. On the 16th, Archbishop Milton Isaac Brown Solar Return, 1937, peace be upon him, in parentheses, is credited with providing official records to the empire.
That's the proof I told you in the Constitution, in my declaration. When I say proof, and one of the last ones in the back about the original presidents and all that stuff, L. Moore.
Mm-hmm.
When he went down to under the White House with Empress to get her paperwork, when I tell you the 6 stories and all that, where they brought that to me, he was able to, to pull that from that library down below. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of people kind of questioning about, Benjamin Banneker and all that, who's first, who's second. And he came to me and said, "Huh, Kufu, this is the original line. So whatever they're saying out there in Wikipedia or whatever, that's just hearsay. This is what's recorded in the old records." So I asked him certain questions. He said, "Well, whenever you see fit, bring it out and tell them to prove you wrong." Okay. So when I seen fit, I brought it out, didn't I? And they ain't been able to prove me wrong, right? So in other words, he told me the truth, right? Because it's on record in L. Eastmore who was the president. And when it get down to Georgia, boy, what I say, all cap, he was a what? President of a corporation, right? What did I tell you? He transferred over to put a constitution on a corporation, right? Look at his name, how it's spelled in L. Eastmore. You see how L. Eastmore spelled his name? They spelled it all damn caps.
Mm.
Y'all didn't catch that part, did you? It's online. It's online, the declaration, in the Imperial CMYE Declaration. Go to proof, part 4, go to proof, and go look at that, and you'll see it. All cap. And its stories right there in front of you. You feel me? Even the Moors, even El Eastmore, knew they had created a corporate damnation. And you allowed a corporation to come in and dominate citizens of a government. That's crazy, ain't it? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. They won't. That's right. They gave you salvation in Christ, right? You see that crap they did? They put it on. They put it on the dollar. What did it say? In God, in God we trust. Well, since it's a fiction, and since it's a corporate, the color of law, they just intentionally maybe left the dots out. You feel me? Because it's supposed to say government ordinance departments. You starting to get me? We trust.
Sorry, Emperor, can you say that one more time? The acronym of it?
Government ordinance department. In God we trust. Government ordinance department. That's their corporation buildings that they put their trust in, because that's where they do what? That's where they get their authority from. To lock you up, to stop you from doing everything. Now you see what I mean? You all right?
Yes, Emperor.
Oh yeah, we're good. Trust me. Power act.
All right, so what else we got?
All right. Okay, continuing. On the 18th, Continental Moorish Yamashi Empire, Imperial Royal Kingdom, 2007, 15 year.
That's the 19th year, 16th year now. Because y'all see, everybody think we didn't know what we were doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I let you know right there, we know what we know. We know why. Because we established the government on 18th July, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
They signed the treaty when? 18 when? 1787, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said we tied ourselves right back in. Because we understood that I was creating a country. Remember, we have already created a state. That was the Yamasi Native American government. Even had an embassy. Ville might have an embassy. So where were the country? You feel me? So I took the indigenous Imperial Washington Nation. Y'all are listening, right? I took the Imperial Indigenous Washington Nation, okay? And I transformed that into what? Continental, Moorish, Yamasi Empire. That's what happened in 2007. And under that government here, I said what? I created government, Emperial CMYE government, right? Had to. But I never moved on it. Why? Because we already had a government, so I couldn't upset or defect or usurp that authority. So that's why we walk small with a big stick. So those who are around who listen to this call, and you remember back in them years, they want me to come out, argue with these people, debate with these people, and y'all kept trying to say, oh, he's scared, he don't know what he's doing. I know, I couldn't come because the Chief Black Eagle, who we appointed as commander-in-chief, he had 10 years on that damn contract. So I couldn't come to do anything until he had his for him to do what he had to do. Once he didn't submit or finalize that contract that we put him under, I came with the Imperial Constitution. You feel me? So let them cats out there know that we knew then. We just didn't have time to deal with them crazy asses. You feel me? You know, back in them days, you didn't have the big stages. You know what I'm saying? You know, who know the most? Remember? Y'all like that stuff too, didn't you? Y'all couldn't wait for Friday night.
Part of it.
You can't wait for Friday night showdown, so and so versus so and so. I'm like, are y'all freaking kidding me? I even had nationals back in the day to call up to New York, some of them talk shows, and every time they tell them I was coming, we never got no response. We ain't got no response to this day, you feel me? Come on. What else we got?
Interesting.
Okay, so
I have a question inside the chat room.
Come on.
The question asks, what is the difference between the military and the guard?
Oh, the guard is something that was established under the president term of Abraham Lincoln and Civil War, and it was dissolved after he died. So when the Pope, because they brought in the military and yellow French flag, so when the Pope wrote the Civil Order, he said it was high time for it to be reestablished. You know, that order, Libra codes they call, because God works on the Libra codes, because that was the Libra codes that they used during Abraham Lincoln time. So they shut the Libra codes down to create this corporation fiction military. So he said it goes back to the Libra codes of the Guard, and he appointed General Ham, who was over NATO and retired, or he wasn't even retired, matter of fact, he just left NATO, or he might have retired, and came to be the Guard. You know what I'm saying? So you see how big NATO is, right? Well, General Ham was over NATO before he became head of Guard by the appointment of the Pope. All right. So now, you know, they don't live for so long. So he got everything straight. So now you got another general in there called General Brown. All right. So they said until the properly formed an operation government on the land where he puts that military control of over the land in American state citizens, which is Moroccan American or non-nationals now. Okay. They got overview of everything because of the land, the sovereignty of the states and the nationals. Okay. So every appointment and you move your state, well, the Guard is eventually going to completely dissolve. And it's going to be dissolved into what? The Imperial Digital Marshals, the militia of the what? Emperial CMYE government, Emperial CMYE-IRK Republic. Okay, so that's the level you at now with your announcement and stuff like that. People don't say how big it is because you actually train. You bring it in. You got the whole training, and he told you also in the letter that what the mail had to be hauled what by marshals under constitutional authority. That should have woke you up because you're not under no constitutional authority in America. So who's here got constitutional authority? I just told you I sent an Imperial Constitution. You feel me? You starting to see it now?
Oh yes.
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
So the military is under the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the Pentagon, and you got a chief Marine, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard. They work at the Pentagon. Well, General Brown is in total contact with them because they don't have no loyalty to the office of the President of the United States. None. The Pope, it ain't me talking, you go read the Civil Order. So they only abide by the rules based on the good faith performance, covenant obligation, and treaty. Well, the Pope told you that the judges of America is what? Treasonous. Because they failed to straighten out the birthright contract and to continue the fraud. Remember he said close the account? Well, he was telling them to close the birthright account to give you more control of your birthright account through the Social Security Administration. But the United States decided to keep you in that slavery, and that's why they violated the motu proprio that went into effect 1st September 2013. And then that prompted him to come in 14 to come and write a civil order based on how they dishonor the motu proprio. So he broke the civil order out. He showed the world what's coming within the next 10 years. So you go look at 14 and you look at where you at now, you starting to get me now? So I'm kind of moving on time, right? Because they do everything in 10-year windows. So he told you in 14, okay, April 3rd, 2014, okay, that's a year. Constitution said. Now, it was active when I signed it, but now it's effect. So this way you see me on paper, I say effective date, sometimes I say 14, and per 13, because that's when I signed it. But for it to go into effect, it was 14 a year later. You had to see it. Well, this is September 30th or 30 September 2023. So you got October, November, December, January, February, March. You got 7 months for your 10-year window out that he told them what was coming. And look what you have done in that 10-year window to, I say, honor his request. Because he the one that opened up everything with the civil order. Because he was talking to me. You got them folk out there in Morris America out there, they were talking to them. That's because the Carters and all them know if he's truly an emperor, he'll read what we just wrote and he'll perform. Well, they understand now that he understood what he wrote and he has performed. If that makes sense to everybody, right? Everybody cool?
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, good.
Yes.
All right, what the question is that? Come on.
But Emperor, is that the reason that General Milley made the response he did in regards to the United States military do not or pledge allegiance to a wannabe dictator the other day?
Of course he did. That's right. But he said, see how they slinging it out a little bit, you keep slinging it out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't hold no law to the president of the United States right now is a dictator. He has no authority to do anything. That's why the Pope Pope Francis letter said what? He had no more authority than the president of Burger King. And the people that work for him just like employees of Burger King. Okay, so they got the military police now where they swear an oath to the bar, not to the Constitution. That's why they call them police officers. They don't call them peace officers. If they were peace officers, they'd be constitutional bound. They call themselves police officers because they swear a bond to the bar, not to the Constitution. So they swear a bond to the bar to upkeep the corporation and the officials that work in these capacities, not to the citizens of the world. No, y'all got it all wrong. That's why you got the issues you have, profile, racial profile, all that shit, because they don't swear no allegiance to the Constitution. They swear allegiance to the bar. And y'all got enough movies out there on YouTube, Prime, and all that showing you how crooked the bar is, all right? When you get certain authority. Now y'all understand what Thomas Jefferson means when he said what? He will hate to live in that day and time where judges have the authority, you know what I'm saying, of that authority over what? The executive office. Because the judges run America. I don't know where y'all been living. Shit. Who y'all think running the government? The judges. Shit. Y'all see all that fuss, that boy, that yellow, what's his name, Trump? He was out there talking. Soon as he hit the court system, you see all that stuff die down there. The judges came in and started writing orders, and everything started dying down there. I said, I've been telling them for years.
Correct.
Them judges run this thing. Y'all better wake up.
Right.
That's why you see what? All the officials is what? Bar attorneys. That's what I told y'all a while back. Y'all done messed up. Every legislation in D.C. is a bar attorney. Y'all didn't catch that part, did you? If you done in a bar some kind of official, you can't even get elected. Well, you can put your name on the plot to make it look good, but y'all know what happened. They only trying to collect free money. You feel me? So they trying to get a little loot. Yeah. You know they ain't gonna. That boy down in South Carolina telling me he running for the president. Y'all know that's a scam. Come on. Just the thought he put his name in the run, and y'all like, come on, it's just a scam. Come on, are you serious? You know what near. You think they're gonna replace Obama with you? You stupid.
Distraction.
Right. Distraction.
If anything, they're gonna put in there be Michelle, but that boy, you crazy. I mean, they have put somebody there to talk to me. That's what y'all understand. So y'all missed that part. See, because Hillary's supposed to have his spot. Remember?
Yeah.
That was her only. Right. That was her only shot. She had that spot. Now also he showed up, knocked out. Right? What? Because he had announced me. That's why he came out. Oh, 09. That's why people said. I said, I'm the reason Obama got elected. What you talking about? Why would he come out 09 and tell you the United States cruise ship not speedboat? Because they know the Caucasian people gonna say that. No man. Then they definitely gonna have their woman, because they who they honor and worship, come out and announce you. Are you kidding me? Are y'all serious? Y'all gotta wake up. Because he ain't did. Then they say, what you mean? But show me what Obama did for y'all. I can show you certain things. As a matter of fact, I got it in my declaration. I can show you some things he did for us, way more than what he did for y'all African Americans. You starting to get me? Everybody quiet now, like, what are you talking about?
No,
I hear that.
I also have
a question.
And soon, Ray.
Clear.
What if the Moroccan Americans that raised the flag in Philadelphia?
The what?
What if the recognition as the Moroccan Americans that raised the flag in city of Philadelphia?
Who that? Your question or somebody sitting and asked that question?
That question.
That's your question?
Yes.
Y'all need to help that man out. He on the ship, so I know he fell off for a second. But y'all need to help him out. What's the status? Nigga, you see him turn his head, y'all? Because they over there chewing him up.
What is the Moroccan Americans and that had raised the flag in city of Philadelphia?
Who you think Moroccan Americans is a tune? You funny. That's why I thought it came from YouTube or somewhere. And for you to ask that question, being on the call every night, reading and studying, that's why I'm like, y'all answer that question for this man.
Oh, I know with as you.
No. Now, non-national, we just cut it because we said, I told them, I don't know if you might have fell off ship by then with that situation you had, but they knew then that I said, as we get to that emerging and we going on the scene, we're going to have to drop Moroccan American because it's too close of attachment. It's only a dash. You feel me? So I said, so when I put the appointment out, I said, Norma / Moroccan American, here Alpha, what? Non-nationals. Because it's in our banner. We don't need to keep analyzing Morocco and all that because we go beyond that. So that's why we look at us as non-national. That's why when I arrived on the scene 31st of August last year, after the 72-hour winter, 28, when it officially kicked in, His Majesty, the Nama Emperor. Okay, well, the Nama Emperor is a Moroccan American. So it's on our banner. Nama means what? Nibirian. What's Nibirian? That's Anunnaki, Elohim, royal bloodline, whatever name make you feel good, all right? So when we say Anunnaki, Nibirian, that's talking about Enlil, that Imperial Ambassador Law spoke of a while ago. The Crown Prince, some call Michael, okay, in the Christian era, all right? Then you got Enki, who is his brother, some call the devil. That's Nibiru, that's royal blood. Then you got what? Amuru, Washita, Mir, see what I'm saying? Deduct the Maya. Okay? Or you can put Amaraka there, don't make it this, it was A. So N-A-M, Moorish, Yamashi, American Native. A, Amaraka, Nama. You tied all the bloodlines in, you see? So when you go Amaraka, you do what? You pick up the what? The L, the B, the D, the Ali, the Moor, the Mir, the Moor, the Merge, American, all that. All of them, that's why you see dashes. We link them all together because it's only one. They had to make the big scene on the market like it means so much more or Mir or whatever. That's just a conversation piece. Don't have no stats, do nothing. But under your banner, that's why you see it say Moor, Mir, Moorish American, Al Moroccan. Don't make a difference. to us on the world scene either, because you got your own banner. You got the royal bloodline. So if any of them out there want to get anything, they got to come with my banner. They got no banner. But they don't want to follow the rules because they want us to follow their rules. We ain't got time to listen to them. You know, so we got our own venue. We organic. And I tell you, we get better every day, every way. Okay? And you're going to have these type of mistakes, even on a live call. Why? Because you immerse in a state. You can have rehearse, whatever. But when you come on live, you know, people have issues sometimes and, you know, forget. At the last minute, forget. You feel me? But you gotta, that's everything you're learning now is preparing you what's gonna come later. So, you know, I don't have no problem with mistakes. Someone say bully because I call you out. Well, you shouldn't be making the mistakes because you've been on ship long enough to think before you speak. So if you won't come on a live call and act like an African American, well, you're gonna get called out as African American because you're not operating as normal because you're not thinking before you speak. That's not being a bully. That's just being, I'm not gonna take no bull crap because I got a ship to move, not somebody's personality, not somebody's ego, not some damn emotions, not some religious fundamental craziness. No, it's a sovereign ship. And you're gonna have no little mistakes. And we're gonna straighten them out. Because we haven't officially set sail until you see our flag raised. So I can make a little mistakes up to then. You hear me? You know. So when they come and activate everything they need to act, then a lot of them mistakes gotta go. Okay. But right now, you know, it's okay. That makes sense to everybody. Everybody cool?
Perfect.
To a growing pain. Growing
Yes,
pain.
indeed, answer.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And
No hands in the queue.
Say it again now.
Just there's no hands in the queue, bro.
There's not a hand in the chat. However, there is a message from my brother Bucci from Albania who just joined the Zoom call.
Come on.
It says the number flag will fly high among the nationals, and I look forward to that day when justice will look at you in the eye and say we made it.
Yeesh.
Yeesh. Smiley face.
That's right. See, that's that confidence you look for. Because he already know you're on the ship. That's why I told y'all. You can feel you on the ship. I'm not, that's why you see me come in and say, well, I work with all of you. Y'all know I don't work with y'all a whole lot, right? Because I know some a sovereign ship. And you got issues over here in understanding royalty or sovereignty or monarchy. Because the way they train you. So I cut you a lot of breaks. But Albania and officials outside of America, they understand that type of journey. So when you put your energy in it, you're a part of it, you know it. If you know it, I know it. That's why I can feel it. That's why I said he a part of the ship. He waiting on y'all. Well, I don't say y'all, but you know, Nama, to get that part open so he can jump on.
Yeah.
So we getting
Truly.
there though.
Get there. Emperor, shall I continue reading? Emperor, you're muted, just in case you don't know.
Say what now?
Shall I continue?
Oh, where we at?
The 18th, the last 18th, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Okay, well, I just want to say Salam Alaikum Magic, Brother Bucci over there in Albania. I got you. Appreciate you timing in. Encouraging words always. Okay. And all the other Nama Albanians, we cool. I ain't got my camera on, so I raise my hand, let down my camera off. I'm sorry. My bad. I've been so busy over here, man. We at the beach, man. I've been so busy. This call came up on us like woof. And time just woof flying. And we didn't know they had an event down here. So it's like, wow, we got caught in at the last minute, you know what I'm saying? So when we came, we had no idea. And this morning woke up like all hell broke loose. There are 2,000-3,000 people in town. We're like, what in the world going on? They got 200-300 vendors down here, everything. We're like, wow. So we got a couple of our numbers down. One of our numbers got an Earth Day today. So I said, perfect Earth Day. You feel me? You couldn't ask for a better birthday party. You know, but it's cool. So we can go back there and burn some firewood tonight, have some fun, and we have a little good time in this call celebration, this 70-week celebration. But what else we got?
Yeah, so we've got the 18th, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and additional articles of 1787 marks 235 years of the ratification of the treaty, longest standing treaty in parentheses. Any questions regarding this slide? I have a question, Emperor. There's the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 and 1836. There's two. Is that right?
Say the what now?
The Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787. Then you have 1836. There's two treaties.
Oh yeah, it ain't two treaties. That's why a lot of the Moorish Americans get a mistake out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep talking about the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Okay, it exists. Okay, but the United States through France wiggled their way out of the 50-year window. So in 1836, it's called the Treaty of September 16th. Okay, well, 17 September. Well, they spelled it just like that. So I got to give it just like that, not 17 September. But it's Treaty of September 17th, 1830. What is it? 35, and it went in effect that January, 35th, and then it went into effect January the 28th. Interesting, right? 1836. Then y'all see I come along January 28, 2022, open up the gates of hell. Then you see the Treaty of Peace and Friendship became activated. So the only thing they did, Sebek, is that hard, Sebek. I like that. You know, I give you that. I know you like hard, so I'll give you that. So Sebek, is that the 50-year window was out, so they didn't have to come every 50 years to Morocco to, vouch for the treaty, make sure all the stuff was being agreed upon. So they took that clause out. So it's not a Treaty of Peace and Friendship anymore. It's considered a Treaty of September 16th. And that's the only thing that's missing is the 50-year window. So you say 1836, when they finally got out of that 50-year window, what happened after that? Okay, you got a civil war. You got all, starting to see what happened. See, you start to see all the destruction the Caucasian man brought to the land. Because as soon as he got outside Morocco and the authority of the king or the monarchy, remember, they didn't have to sit down in Morocco every 50 years no more. So that's why Obama said what? That's the longest standing treaty in America. Why? Because of that clause. But now they have violated the clause. Why? Because they not in good standing, good faith performance, and they violated what? Treaty law. Because what they do, they create a fiction corporation and operating as an oligarch. That makes sense to you?
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you, Emperor.
We good?
Good.
Good question. All right, what we got next?
On the 28th, new moon, sovereign observance. Next slide, Nanyatun, please. Thank you. Okay. August 20.
No, this is August.
2022.
All right, damn. Well, we start at June?
Yeah.
July, August. And we 3 hours in, right? All right, let's see. We got the 24th down here. So, all right, let's run August, and then we'll shut it down after August.
Okay.
And then we'll pick it back up tomorrow in September. And we're gonna make sure we start tomorrow. We're gonna stand down here, whatever, and get on September, because that's the third day. We got a whole year tomorrow. So we gotta roll, okay? I don't think I want to extend it no more. I don't know. So where we looking now, I'm looking at my extend another day. And we gonna get it all in. We just on August. We got a whole year. We ain't even got to September 2023. God damn, that's a whole call.
More than a call.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, so we're gonna go as far as this, and far we're gonna go tomorrow. And then if anything, we'll do something, like I said, Nate's full moon to finish this thing up. And and the only thing it is that that 2 million being taken a day, this just keep getting extended. You feel me? So I ain't been able to shut it or whatever I'm gonna do with it until I finish this. So that 2 million stands, you feel me? And y'all see we getting closer and closer to Third World War, right? For them, not us. But they getting closer to the Third World War. But they all say that had happened for this damn time when I come in. So we'll see. We'll see. I know, right? And I know, right? So y'all, you're right. It's a living entity, right? It never stops. And we went over this stuff back in the months when we wrote it. And y'all see it gets better, get bigger, 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 right? Because what I tell y'all back then, you can't get it all down at one time. You write it down, a month later, you'll hear something, feel something, you go back like y'all been doing, you see? And look how many slides we got now. 69 slides. We got 69 slides. Come on. I mean, y'all been rolling. You feel me? So what slide we on right now?
Post
27.
It's 29, I think.
This is 27. We gotta go to 69. You feel me?
28 right now.
Oh, 28. That's interesting. 28 on August. I didn't know that. Damn. That's crazy. I'm like, damn. August 28. The slide 28. Woo. All right. Let's see what's happening here. Okay.
So we got the 2nd of August, Emperor's mother's Shirley Rose Pridgeon Sampson, peace be upon her, in parentheses, solar return day. The 3rd, Ross 508b, a super Earth exoplanet is discovered. The exoplanet is 37 million light years away from Earth. On the 4th, 100th day of Imperial Motu Proprio / Royal Official Decree / Public Notice to the World. The 9th, a newborn Jupiter-sized exoplanet in the AS-209 system is discovered via the Atacama Large Millimeter Array Telescope in Chile. The 12th, full supermoon, sovereign observance. On the 24th, the Pope ordered the, quote, Holy See, end quote, and connected entities to return all financial assets to the Vatican within 30 days of September the 1st, September 1.
That was. Wait a minute. Did he have September 1st on there? I know he signed it on the 4th.
It was supposed to be
okay. And then he signed it on the 4th, and he published it on the 24th. Remember? So that was 120 day. Okay, after the motu proprio. So that lets you know nobody was able to do what? Answer the motu proprio. So that lets you know right there wasn't no sovereignty on land there, right?
Yeah.
So right there, that's when I said you are the true sovereign. Why? Because you wrote a Imperial motu proprio that had the answer by law, by international law, by any law in the universe. You had the answer if you had authority to answer. And you see none of them answer because they had no damn authority. That's when I officially came on as the true sovereign. Next thing you know, they had me on the record as what? His Majesty. Before he was just head of state, remember? Now you got me on the record as His Majesty. So how that happen? They couldn't prove they couldn't even answer the most important, not even the Vatican, the Pope. He couldn't even answer. So in their mind, they say what? Well, that makes Jesus return, right? Y'all some funny people. I was like, well, who got more authority than the Pope? Remember? They say he the third in line. He the vicar, right?
Right up there.
They say God, Jesus, and the Vatican, right? Oh, I forgot. People don't, it's amazing that people over here in Christian world and Christian America, they try to act like they don't respect the Pope, they don't honor the Pope, they don't, they don't do nothing. I'm looking at them like, where do you think you get your Bible from? You feel me? I'm like, it's real. But in America, they got their own, they done set up their own form of Christianity over here. Them black churches, they done created some mess, you feel me? And it just the craziest thing you want to see. For these people to be educated, college educated, for them to be, it's amazing. Because they're supposed to be so smart, educated, you feel me? So, so it's so weird that you live in a country where you don't even speak two languages. You know what I'm saying? The official language is a barbaric language. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, because they don't want you to know the truth. Because you start speaking language, you know the truth. So you living in a barbaric country. So if you talk to other countries and they can speak your language and their language, well, they let you know right there, they already a step above you, right?
That's right.
That's right. So that was an order that the Vatican put out to collect all their revenue from all this around the world. Why? Because they got a true sovereign on the land. So they can't have their loot stashing your land, because once you take over your land, it's your property. That's why he told him he had to what? Give him back, get it over here now. You feel me? That's right. I think he did. Give him 30 days. Right. You did give him 30 days. Okay. All right. That's commercial law. I know a lot of people like, huh? What was I always like?
But it makes sense though.
But that is the truth,
It does make sense, because one state can't sit in the seat of another. So if he got some stuff over there, he can't. He'll be bald.
Why you think now you finally realize why Obama nationalized all the banks? Y'all never figured that out, did you?
Wow.
Okay.
You had no other president come in. Why during Obama era you had a nationalized Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these Chase men had nationalized all the banks? Why? Because you got a sovereign on the land. They need to go in and fuck them. Got to go to fuck.
Break it down for some of us in the back.
Yeah, break it down.
Go ahead.
The banks can come and register under you.
No.
Who's there? Somebody said no. What you want? Who said no? Come on. Oh, he
That
was
was a
talking
hot
outside.
mic that was disabled.
Huh?
That was a disabled hot mic.
Oh, okay. Because the banks can come and be under your venue. So they had to nationalize them so they couldn't step outside the Constitution, whatever they had the banks under. Outside of that, you got a sovereign country coming in that can take over your whole banking empire. That's why they had to nationalize it, so they couldn't go outside that venue. That makes sense to y'all now?
Damn. Nationalize them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it don't make sense to you, say what?
When a bank is nationalized, does that mean like the government takes over control of it?
Well, no, it means you can't step out. You can't go outside the norm, do loans, and can't nobody come in to, take over you, this and that, because you got a state within a state now. Outside that, they didn't need to nationalize the bank. Now that you got a state within the state, they got more authority than the state, than the United States. Well, under that authority, he can come and actually wipe out your whole banking empire, because all the banks can come under your venue, because you got dual citizenship here. You're a foreign national in your own damn country.
Yeah.
So they can, under that contract, they can choose. Remember, because the Treasury is on the whole new contract. Y'all didn't know that, did you? The Treasury had their own seal outside of the Secretary of State. Probably the second seal, most powerful seal, okay, in the United States. She has its own authority. So y'all starting to see now where they have to nationalize the bank. That makes sense to you? Because you got under certain seal where they got the authority from. That makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
That's why you see Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen able to go to China on her own schedule, her own way, without the approval of the United States or the Secretary of State. She got her own way. Starting to get me right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because then you want to go a little farther. Yeah. You want to go back a little farther? Let's go back a little farther. Let's go down the rabbit hole a little bit. When Benjamin is established office of the president, he created what? A Supreme Court justice and what? The United States Treasury. Interesting, right?
Yeah, they have their own lawful money too.
So when you go back and look at the Treasury seal, what's the seal on it? 87 on it. You didn't catch that, did you? And it ain't about them making no damn sovereign money. They can't make no sovereign money because they allowed the Federal Reserve to come in 1913.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's right.
Outside of the sovereignty of the state, letting you know that they want no sovereignty in America if you got a Federal Reserve. Because if you got sovereignty in America, you have your own sovereign currency. Why you got to create a Federal Reserve? Starting to get it now?
Right.
Let's go by the, over that Neil, what was his name? Nightingale, all them boys back in the day, Dale Carnegie and all them, what they say, own nothing, control everything. Started to get me? Y'all didn't catch that part. They were talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Hold them heels and all them. That's what they were talking about. Own nothing, control everything. What were they telling y'all?
Right.
They can never own nothing, but they can control it. But they lost all their authority. So that's why I say that was a own nothing, control everything. That's Federal Reserve. They don't own shit, but they control every damn thing. Oh, y'all starting to get it now?
Yes.
Y'all sure?
Yes, Emperor.
Oh yeah.
Y'all sure?
Emperor, is the Federal Reserve a trust?
Well, they don't let you see how they got it set up. It's private, but the way it runs, it's got the similarities of with the board and all that. It's like a trustees and all that, but they are. If they outside the United States, that may be under the authority of the Crown of England. You feel me? Because it's like Social Security Administration. It's outside of the scope of the United States government. Even though they claim that they're not. It's owned by Britain or the city of England. You feel me? So you got a Federal Reserve system that's not owned by the people, and you got a Social Security system that's not owned by the people. And you hire congressmen and senators to go over in to represent you or represent them, and they only feeding themselves because their retirement they give the old people don't make sense. You feel me? So it's just a part of the scheme, you ask me.
Oh yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah,
This
one
further
hand up in the
explains
queue.
all of those
Brother Lamar Lee.
Yes, Emperor. I'm just a little fuzzy on the part of the U.S. corporation being able to nationalize. I didn't believe they had that authority to do that on this land.
What land you talking about?
America, the Americas, or
what? They have authority to do what?
You're to nationalize
They don't
anything.
nationalize, they neutralize. Go look at the word.
Naturalized. They're naturalized. Yeah, but I thought you said they nationalized the bank.
No, they neutralize you. Look at the word.
Oh, neutralized it. Okay.
I told you, look at the word. You're not hearing me.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, all right, I got you.
Go look at the word.
Yeah.
You got to look at common sense. All right. If they say they nationalize you, why you a citizen of a state there?
Exactly.
So you come through New York, Buffalo, you go to Rome, you swear to pledge to the United States of America, then you go out and be a citizen of that state. That don't even make sense.
Right. Right.
You gotta go get a Social Security card to get a job while you didn't get if you nationalized by America, why America ain't give you that?
Mm-hmm.
They give you a passport because that's what happens, port past the port. You passing through ports or corporation.
Property.
Passport.
Property. Yeah.
So through the UN Charter, they all have ports, corporations. So they give you a passport through the post office. So you can travel from port to port. Corporations passing from port to port. I ain't know
property.
Yeah.
I think he was referring to when you said Obama nationalized the banks.
Oh, but he neutralized the bank. You know that word. You know that. You know that word. You know, my bad.
All right.
But see, the question there to make, because banks is corporations. He said citizens, so it's totally different. You know, totally different venues. So if I got to go look it up. You know me. So if it's nationalized, he can nationalize a bank, but he can't nationalize a citizen.
Right.
Because the Constitution is set up for corporations. So under that authority, he can nationalize a bank because it's a corporation, but he can't nationalize no damn citizen. If you look at it, it won't make sense about it, right? But what he said, he'd be like a citizen. That's neutralized. That's why I said look at the word. But if you said bank, you said he's probably talking about the bank. My brain had to think for a second because I was distracted. And I said, no, he can nationalize because he's a corporate, the whole Constitution corporation. So he can't nationalize a bank. It's a corporation. Think about it.
Corporations
I do my research on it, and then we but right now I'm putting 99.9%. We'll be on point.
Yeah.
Pretty good. We good?
Yeah, because it goes under corporations or persons too.
Well, that's Black's law. So now you're trying to you're going to Black's law dealing with LLCs and all that kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? You know, how you set up a trust because they had to get them. They had to give they only allow certain trusts under the United States. So under the United States trust laws, because they got express trust, they claim. Nobody never seen it, but it's, you got express trust. You got seller, okay? Who's the seller? United States. That's the interesting part, right? That's where they only sit. Then you got what? Trustees, who become the what? United States government. You feel me? So who the beneficiary? Corporation. So that's it. So if you look at a regular trust, if you say a trust, that's how it's set up. But the beneficiary is down at a person, you say, as a corporation. So what happens? They come in and create a corporation as a beneficiary so that the trustees performing the trust, running the trust, now they can dock their wealth or funding the trust into a corporation where they could become what? Employees of the corporation. See how that shit work?
Right.
So they can, then you gotta look at what they call a hybrid trust that England, United States, Canada, they won't allow across the borders. You feel me? Or they won't allow in their borders. Why? Because the trustees and the beneficiary is the same. So they call that a hybrid trust. So they don't allow them trusts in here. So they allow pure trust, family trust, you know, all that trust you hear. You know, Lyndon Johnson, they say he had over 200 trusts when he left here. You feel me? But it's all governed under the United States structure of trust law, where you got a settler, a trustee, and a beneficiary. Usually their kids, beneficiary, they put in there how much money they're gonna get a month through the trust and all that. That's all through the beneficiary. You feel me? Then they create an LLC or LTD, whatever they want, under the trust and put it under that beneficiary status. Why? So like you said, corporation can also be considered as a what? A person. Now you see what they did, right? So they can do what? They can posit scheme the money.
Wow.
You get paid. You starting to get me? And make it look like what legal and lawful, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, they're good at that. I seen something the other day I thought was a beautiful concept where the lawyer that wrote the trust, he was able to
attorney.
Okay, attorney. You're right. The attorney that wrote the trust, he wrote it to where the attorney used his social security number instead of the person the trust is for. And
that's because he's gonna come in and operate the trust for that person. And that's what happens to 99.9% of people in America who come under and want to be, you know, because the whole format is will or estate plan. That takes the plan back to the government. So under a will or estate plan, when you have death in the family, well, they got to go to a probate court now. See, because you ain't got no legal status, nothing. Then the probate come in or head of the state to close out that, but they ain't got to let you know your corporation. You feel me? So you see, so that's how that whole system is set up in America. Okay, so when you're looking at then where we at? What were you saying?
Well, I looked at it as a complete protection from the person who's holding the.
No, that's why you see a lot of them cats out here on the market. To finish up where we're going, a lot of cats out on the market who do these trusts for people, they come in and, like you just said, to operate the trust for that person because they want to still be a de facto corporation. They don't want to come on and be a trustee. So the people had to sling that paperwork, create these trusts like that attorney you said, and then they come in and put their number there so they can operate that trust on that person's behalf.
Right.
Which don't make sense to me because that person is just as ignorant as hell because they still want to be a corporation or a de facto corporation, don't want to stand up to the responsibility or accountability of a trustee. Because you don't realize that once you step on that level, you're not under the jurisdiction of the all fit capital no more. Or you know what I'm saying? You're not under that jurisdiction no more. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your jurisdiction now, your jurisdiction line lies in what? The indenture and the bylaws of the trust. And your job is what? To fund the trust. So you outside of that corporate status. Don't leave that alone, right?
Yeah, you said it perfect.
All right, so where we at? We gotta get off this call. 8:41.
I yield.
Okay. All right, we good?
Thank you. Yes, I yield.
What else we got? Where we at now on this read? 20, 30 days. We're down at 24.
Yeah, we're down at 24.
Yeah, with a 120 day, right? That's 120 days. All right, go to the next slide. We just went over that. All right, so we ended out with this one. Okay. So this is slide 29, right?
Yes.
All right, so 27 with new moon. Come on, Sabet.
Yeah, 27 new moon. Sovereign observance mark the deadline for any responses to the Emperial-Motu Proprio / Royal Official Decree / Public Notice to the World. That's 27. 28th, Emperor was officially acknowledged on record as His Majesty, (H.E.M. end parentheses). On the 30th, started a 3-day, quote, crown day, end quote, celebration. That's the 30th, 31st, and the 1st of September.
31st.
Yeah, 1st September. 31st, the Emperor's Solar Return Day. 2nd, 58, received a double rainbow. He was ascending. All caps H.E.M. His Imperial Majesty. Solar Return Day is exactly 29 days from his mother's Solar Return Day.
So that's why she rolling with me, right?
31st, the United Kingdom experienced 3 heat waves. The first was for 3 days in June. The second for 3 days in July. Parentheses, the hottest on record. And parentheses, and the third for 6 days in August.
And then 8 days of September, they help her left. We say that that lady, that queen left, right? I mean, they stole my privilege. So you know, I have a anger, you know. So that's good for this. Okay, I think here, somebody said here on the 31st. Also, that was the 72 hours. Now y'all say the 28, but you know, there's still that 72-hour regulation D time. So I said that it actually fell in on my Earth Day, you know, but officially you're right, 28. Then you gotta count 3 days after that, you know, 28, 29, 30, 31. You know what I'm saying? So 27 rather than the 28 was the 3 days, probably 72 hours. So 27 was the last they had official, 28 that was done, 29, 30, and then 31st. Bye bye, free at last. And, you know, we've been moving ever since. We didn't even know it, you know what I'm saying? We were like, we were kicking in the end of September, 1st of September. Remember, I signed in normal international central banking on 8th September. That same day that morning. And then that evening we got word that she went on, she left, go burn for eternity. You feel me? So we just went through that, you know. So we were dealing on that level. We signed in. It's still down. It's still stamped. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, even though it's updated, but the official stamp was 8th September when we brought in NICB. So we've been rolling ever since. You know, all the other paperwork to go along with that, but you know, we've been rolling ever since. And y'all see how many parts and moving parts it is to run a state, right?
Oh yeah.
Now you ain't got time to get out there and deal with nobody else but this damn state, right?
No time. Sleep, eat.
because you know you got to learn, because you learn so much out there on the market. You thought, and now you see it ain't nothing over here, and you put so much energy in them. Look how much energy people put in the cheap black eagle. 30 years, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't got nowhere to go. You feel me? So they come over here, what they do? They don't bring no energy. You see the Moors out there, all the people, all the energy they get. When they come over here, what they got? They ain't got no energy. They don't burn out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what we need you for then? You know, I need you when that fire going, you know? They burn out. Hollering at judges, trying to offset a credit card or a phone bill. You feel me? Argue with them about craziness. Then when they come over here, we want so much free. They want this. They want to open. They want. I'm like, you act like this is let me quit. I was gonna tell you something, but I don't leave that word alone. I might get people upset. But anyway, we're gonna keep moving. All right. So that's why I say we got to have it set up through the university, like y'all doing, so when newcomers come in, they can study and train in university, and we'll bring them in as they elevate. But we can't bring them till they know their culture or their normal or who they is. They can't represent us. So we got a little thing we're going through now, training everybody, you know, with our normal information and everything, and it's working out. So, you know, they get on board, and then as newcomers out there on the market is listening and wants to get involved, this and that, we're organic structure. We can do what we want. Right now, we're working on something to get certain things done in government. We coming out showing our 70 weeks, our ties into everything, the Bible, the Bible, the Quran, and everything. And it's not happening the way they wrote it. It's happening the way we wrote it. And so we the new kids on the block. We have our own stock. We have our own republic. We have our own country. We have our own sovereign. We have our own sovereigns. We don't call our stuff money. We have normal sovereigns. Okay. Why y'all call it normal sovereign? Because the last sovereign on the land was when the emperor had a sovereign. All right. So I raised this flag. Now we got normal sovereigns. You feel me? When the emperor lived before, he had a red flag. Now that I raised the flag, you see my crown on the flag. See how things tie in? Because you could never dissolve that sovereignty. So you just pick up, keep moving. So now you got normal sovereigns on the land. Go back. That's why you see Brits and everybody else tripping. Why? Because they knew I was coming. I mean, I had a scene for years. Way before the new development bank came on the scene. You think they didn't know what the active state of the cruise ship meant when Obama said it? You think they didn't know that? Of course they knew. But what the full faith and credit clause say what? Incomplete trust. That's why they wouldn't no need them coming out telling the citizens of the United States anything. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't no need them telling their citizens anything because it had nothing to do with them. It had something to do with government. Unless they work for the government, they didn't have no privilege to see anything. So that's why you saw a lot of people trying to question what we were doing, but they didn't have no status to find out who we were doing anyway. You feel me? So it was just their ego. They had to, you know, they had to know this, that before they come over here and deal with the ship. You know, I gotta know all this. I gotta know all that. I gotta know what emperor did this. I only need you on the ship. You feel me? Because you bring too much controversy. Because you are like, I gotta prove something to you. You ain't nothing to prove. You feel me? I already proved it. That's why I gotta stay. Yeah. I can stand out still today, yesterday, and tomorrow. It has effect. You feel me? Ain't going nowhere. Just making sure we got something behind the album still to go do what we got to do. That makes sense to everybody, right?
Makes sense.
All right.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
Y'all see? You start off on the boogie road, you come back smooth road, right? So that's the end of this thing for the night. So we got a lot of stuff going on this up here, and a lot of this. So we're gonna end because we got some places to go, hang out a little bit, and
yeah, one question in the chat.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, I be here long. I mean, father's going through the timeline. I'm done for the night. But you got some questions, I hang with you. Come on.
Courtney Vessel, you have your hand raised. You have the floor.
Yes, salam alaikum with magic. The picture there on you've just changed the screen.
Oh, go back.
With the rainbows.
Okay.
One more. The bottom one with the sun. Is that a full rainbow around the sun? And what is the significance?
That's a sundial. That's what they call a sundial. All right. That happened to me. That's a sundial, but they got it in on this slide here. But August 8th of February 2023, I was back walking on Sunset Beach, and it appeared in the sky, just like you see it on the bottom down there. But you can see the whole thing. First, I have video of it. You can see the right side if you're looking at this. And as I got to the pier, you can see the whole sundial. And that was a confirmation of me completing that was 8th of February. Let me know I completed my mission. Remember I told you when I was 17 when my uncle had that vision on me. He said, you couldn't be happy until you complete your mission. So with me having university signs to confirm me, like the smiley face, the sun man, and all that stuff that's happening, doing this 70 plus 7 plus 4 week journey, that was a confirmation in that journey that day. We had a call on that day, remember? That was a full moon call. And then we was at Sunset Beach. And I wasn't supposed to be at Sunset Beach because I was dealing with that kidney stone real bad, but I tried to just help move that thing down. And I was on the beach so I can get some water to help balance my energy. And that happened on the beach that day. And that's the sundial. That double rainbow up top is talking about that happened on my Earth Day that year. And then 8 days later, after the 31st of August, that happened right above my house where I was staying at. Where I was staying at back then. That came right above the house on my Earth Day. And then 8 days later, the Elizabeth, she passed and she got one rainbow. Okay. And then 8 days later, something else happened. So it was showing you the 888s and 8 marquee coming in. So that's what we were looking at all back then. So that makes sense to you?
Yeah. There's a reason why I asked, because I told you I was in the Gambia. And on the 8th of September, there was a double rainbow right in front of my compound. Beautiful. It was sweet. All the youths then was there. Everybody saw it. But on the 10th of September, I saw a rainbow around the sun. Called everybody out. Everyone. That's the first time I ever seen it. But now I see this picture. Us? Yeah, I tried to. I even put my sunglasses in it, but the rays of the sun was so bright. I could just about get a glimpse of it. And then partial clouds came in and blood, but it was beautiful. The rainbow around the sun and the double rainbow. This was in a period of 2 days.
That's a lot and you know that's interesting because I'm still in Gambia with Kenta what's his name?
Kunta Kinte Island.
Kunta Kinte, there you go. Now because in America, in the Root series, they had a brother who named Kunta Kinte who got his foot cut off, or whatever, and all that slavery stuff. And then as you get older, you find out there's literally a Kunta Kinte Island in Gambia where this story originated from. You feel me? So that was part of the flotilla coming to Africa, to Gambia first, even though we got Ghana and Congo and Morocco, all of them on the west coast of Africa on our list to dock. We said we were docking first in the Gambia, okay, so that we can really end that charter, end that slavery from Quebec to Albania. Say Quebec to the Gambia. That's the journey on the flotilla, to end that slavery forever. So that's why the crown got to go back across the ocean or the pond. So when I docked in Gambia and we get all that celebration done, and then we were going back down to the Republic of Congo, or from that dock, we would go to the Congo to, bring the crown back so they can create what type of ceremony, party, whatever, that the crown had returned, back to. The crown has found its head to fit, and now it's returned back to Africa where it's made at. So then we'll see what type magic Dawn really had, right?
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. But yeah, it was just amazing. And to see this picture at the bottom, it just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Part of my journey, brother.
Yeah.
More to come, right? They say more, M-O-R.
More, right? Yeah. M-U-U-R.
Yeah.
More to come.
You see my document. Some of my documents, you see me say MOR-MORE-MUUR, because they go, all of them traces back to that same Moor. You feel me? Right, so you can say, because the MOR came into existence with the Hyksos. Okay? That's when Khufu allowed the Hyksos in Egypt. We gave them the Moor. Our Moor brothers, MOR, we gave them 3 degrees. Cha-cha-cha. Where you get that cha-cha-cha from, we got them 3 degrees. And you seen what they would do with 3 degrees up to this day. Because the other 6 degrees is sacred. And you got our venue really to operate now. And certain masters done came to bring that out, but they couldn't completely bring it out because they didn't have no venue. So that's why you see now we got a venue. Them doors gonna start opening up because now you can master your being completely. Or we say is be. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, is be. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we good? You can close on that one?
Yep, definitely.
All right. No more questions?
Emperor.
No problem.
Hands in the queue.
No more?
No, not here.
No more.
Are we good? I yield to the host. Nani Atu?
Are we good?
Oh, here's one. Okay.
All right, come on, Atune. Let's spread it out. See, you done.
All right.
See, you done got yourself looking straight there, young man. Look at him.
Yes.
All right, cool. So let's close it out, dog. We back over here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Y'all crazy. Y'all know y'all gonna mess with it. Look at them now, they crank it up. That's a normal joke, right? We're gonna be good with that, right? All right, so I yield so you close it out. So let me imagine everybody. See you tomorrow night.
Salam alaikum with magic protector.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with
Salam
magic.
alaikum with magic. Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam
alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with magic to all.
Salam alaikum
with magic.
This has been a 70+7 timeline on the second day of September 30th, 2023. Salam alaikum magic to all. This has been with his Imperial Majesty Emperor space Samhu mini Ray quote a day Loyi end quote with Emperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States small s. Eesh. Smiley face. Know that stuff.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Same time tomorrow.
I'm sure to be with you all, divine being.
October.
Magic, divine being. Salam alaikum with magic. And may the dweller be with you, divine beings. And may you continue to be the universal traveler, colon space, dweller, that's emperor, colon space. Samhu, a mini dash ray, quote, end quote, divine being.
Smiley face.
Yeesh. Smiley face. Know that stuff.
Yeesh. Know that stuff.